attack.
Or the legendary outfit.
That would be the best thing that's ever happened! My balloon! You could be a hero, Leon. You're fast and strong and a total robotics genius.
You're cute, sis. But these guys are megastars. I'm just me.
Hey!
What a shot! Only 3 left in the game.
Oh no! I thought I was alone!
But look, he's got an opening.
Team Hayata wins!
For one more player, I'm afraid my friend doesn't play fair.
Hayato!
Bring me that suit.
We've got to help!
Leave it to the pros, Amelie. Amelie! You okay? Are you hurt?
Leon!
It's my suit. Eliminate him.
Hey, new guy! Need a hand? Yo, think fast!
You see that?
That wasn't me!
Amelie! Amelie, where are you?
Leon!
Amelie!
Give me the suit. Now!
Stop! Stop! I'll give it. Just let her go.
No, Leon! Don't!
Hey!
You're in trouble now, bony face.
Nice job, man.
Hayato! Did you see my brother? He was so freaking amazing!
I think some others saw him, too.
Well, Megastar, what you gotta say?
Booyah!
What is this place? Too quiet. Maybe not. I was expecting a warmer welcome.
Your fame is justified after all.
Give me a reason to blow your brains out.
You are a king without a crown. And I am a queen with an arsenal. You seek fame, but I don't mind being hidden in the mist. Bring me the legendary suit, and in return you will have fortune and respect as a true hero hunter. What do you say?
3 months in 4 unique phases: the Open Qualifier, the Group Stage, the Last Chance Qualifier, and the Finals. Teams will accumulate points throughout each of these stages, resetting for everyone at the start of each new phase. We will kick things off in the Open Qualifier. Teams from across the entire North American region will be split into lobbies of 12 teams, where survivors will battle it out for 6 games to earn their place in the next round. Teams will be awarded points for their in-game performance, including points for their final placement in the lobby, as well as their kills throughout the games. At the end of these games, the top teams from each lobby will move on to the round of 96. This round will feature new lobbies and 6 more games for each team. The teams that finish in the top 6 for their lobby will move on to a final qualifier round of 48, after which only 24 teams will be left standing to move on to the group stage. The group stage will be comprised of a 3-week season, with 2 game days each weekend. The teams promoted from the Open Qualifier will be placed into 4 groups of 6 teams each. Throughout the season, these groups will be paired on game days in a round-robin format, so that each group will face off against every other group in a 12-team lobby at least once. At the conclusion of the group stage, the top 8 teams from this stage will qualify directly to the finals. The bottom 4 teams in the overall standings will be dropped from the tournament, and the remaining teams will move on to the Last Chance Qualifier. The Last Chance Qualifier will see the teams placed 9th through 20th from the group stage compete in their final opportunity to qualify for the finals. Their bouts will take place over the course of 2 game days, with 6 games per day, all in a final bid to earn their shot at the championship. After this intense LCQ stage, only the teams in the top 4 will be able to move on to the finals. To cap things off, our grand finals will take place over the span of 3 days, with the top 12 teams from the tournament playing 6 games every day for a grand total of 18. Here, teams must go all out to earn points and stake their claim as the inaugural Free Fire Pro Series champions. At the end of the 3 game days, the 12 finalists will receive their share of the $50,000 prize pool, and a North American champion will be crowned.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Free Fire North America Pro Series. I am Porosaurus. Joining me is Mustache Dave. How you doing, my man?
Hey, man, it's going well. Thanks for having me here today, Poro. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you and catching some chill games out here.
Yeah, we've got quite a few games to get through. We're going to have 6 on today. Let's take a look at that format, see how we got here from way back there. Started off with our open qualifiers. Now we are in that second big block, the group stage, 3 weeks. We are about halfway through so far, Dave. We've got today the final, the second day for groups A and D.
And talking about groups D, I'm looking at TM Dominican. Today, they needed to pop off, Poro. We were kind of talking about it in the pre-show. They are dead last. We'll get to that overall leaderboard here in a couple of minutes. But today's the day, Poro, for these bottom teams to really climb up these leaderboards, because we got some heavy hitters here playing in tonight's lobby as well.
Absolutely. We've keep in mind it is going to be the top 8 from these 4 groups that move on to those grand finals, and then the next 12 will be in the Last Chance Qualifier. But bottom 4, they're done. They're dusted. They're out. No more games for them. So let's take a look at the leaderboard right there. Invalidos. We saw Invalidos, Club 9D. All these teams played yesterday, had great days. But La Bahia, in 6th place, they've only played 1 day, Dave.
Yeah, and everyone was talking to us like, La Bahia, La Bahia. Today's their day. La Bahia. Today's their day. Right there in that 6th place to keep your eye on, to really soak up all those points at the top. Them and Frago too, right? Like, so we got 2 pretty big names in the lobby here competing tonight.
Absolutely. 109 points in 1 day is nothing to shake a stick at. Fuego, 70 points in 1 day as well. find themselves in the top 12 overall. Let's take a look at the map rotation that we're going to be getting today. It's going to be 6 games overall across 3 maps. We're going to start with 2 on Kalahari before moving over to Purgatory. We will take a short break after game 3 before we come back and finish up with 1 more Purgatory game and 2 more on Bermuda. So I think we're just about ready to get into game. I know you have your eyes on La Bahia, right?
Yeah.
You said you had your eyes on TM Dominican. Is there anybody else that's kind of sticking out? I know there's a lot of teams down there at the bottom of the leaderboard that need to make something happen here today.
Yeah, so I guess an update here that we also have to mention for the viewers tuning on in is Tokyo and Esports, one of the teams that played. They changed their name to Syndicate, right? We can see them on the overall leaderboard, currently in 17th position. So if anybody is out there watching and wondering, hey, where'd this new team, where'd this new name come from? Well, there you go. We just laid it on you right there. So with a new name, new org, today's the day. You got to show up here for it.
New team, who dis? Yeah, they got something to prove for sure. As we are already in the plane, we're already dropping across the map. We had plenty of hot drops yesterday. Let's see if we get some more here today. Looks like our blue zone is going to be right on top of Refinery. Would not be at all surprised to see a couple of teams drop there.
Not only that, dead center, Refinery, like you mentioned, boosted loot. We see the blue zone right there. So it is going to be even more exciting. But unfortunately, it looks like nobody's looking for this early game fight here right off the rip.
Yeah, right off the bat, Wasaka, I think, was one of the last teams to drop in, and they're going to be having that place all to themselves. But on the other side, here we go. It is Syndicate, and they're going to find themselves in a scrap right off the bat with TDM. That's going to be TM Dominican, the team that you were looking at. They're going to take some damage right off the bat from Stepdad. Not going to get the knock just yet. The time turner comes down, but it's not going to be enough. He's just going to push right in and get his money. Stepdad, first kill of the game.
Ooh, he's still alive, very low in the health department, but he is going to be getting chased down over here. Remember, Syndicate, they're looking to make a name for themselves. They're looking to make a name for their org here tonight to represent. But when you got Mustache Dave the pick for TM Dominican looking to make that comeback here dead last, you already know they're going to be coming in hot.
Yeah, they try to go in for the hot drop. They do keep one alive, so they will stay in the game for the time being, but it's going to be slow sledding here as we check in with Joshua from FGO, taking some nice shots. We'll get the knock and the flush. They're going to continue on push. The time turner comes down from FGO. Have to go for the reposition. Can't get that last shot into Marcos.
They don't want the Scythe, man. The Scythe, it gives you boosted movement speed, and also it hits, it punches. It is tough with the damage. But it looks like they're going to be taking that out after they did get the knockdown right there with the pump. And here we go. Already a couple kills. There's still 4 up. Very early game. Remember, each kill is 1 point. So this is a solid start.
And you can see Oscuro still alive there for DK. That's going to be dual kings. Came in today with 31 points overall, sitting a little bit low on the leaderboard, but hoping to turn things around today. Not a great way to start your day by losing 3 team members, but we'll see if Oscuro can pull off some solo magic.
He's chilling. He's chilling right now. Looking for those
very
placement
comfy
points. Yeah, very comfy. Got to get those placement points. I think as a solo, your objective here, you can't really take these early fights. Same thing here with Sus, right? Can't take these early fights no more. You got to at least get a top 5, get those 6 points underneath your belt, and just look for some type of consistency here tonight for the overall leaderboard.
Just try to get something off of something out of every game here. Obviously, things didn't turn out the way they wanted to. Meanwhile, we've got OG STR. Who's that going to be? That's a long tag, man. Who is OG STR? I'm looking for a team name here. It's going to be OG Street. There we go. OG Street.
Yeah. That's where
makes
we're from.
sense.
The OG Street.
Well, the OG.
Back on the block. Hey, we know these dudes. We know these
absolutely.
Dudes. So everybody right now, we did have some early game action, of course. Now, people kind of just waiting to see where the zone takes them, right? Everybody finding a safe spot to call home for the time being. I'm looking at the mini-map. There's a lot of room separating everybody for the most part here. This next zone shift should really dictate if we do get some more action. But this is to be expected, right? Early game, why risk it? go for those placement points. If you think you can take a fight, if you know for a fact you come out on top, then of course take the fight. But besides that, I think it's all about them placement points here.
Absolutely. Get yourself looted up. Try to keep 4 up going into the late game. It's going to be the name of the game. C7, they've lost 1, and it looks like Ozark's still on the hunt here. And, looks like we actually got a kill from one of our solos there in the kill feed. You can see from Syndicate. Sus being able to wrap that one up here as Ozark's still on the hunt.
I got to ask you, you've been here for a couple weeks. Scythe. I know it helps the players move quicker, and I know it has like a high amount of damage. But do we ever get like a straight up squad fight of just people, sights in hand, trying to go at each other up close and personal? Like, has that ever happened here in the pro scene?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's funny you should mention that. We'll touch on that here. I'll actually recall from yesterday here as we see Sus getting pushed here by OG Viper. He managed to take 1 off of him already, but those glue walls keeping the push at bay for the time being. Grid trying to get the high ground, see if he can maybe find an angle here. He's going to land some damage, and there you go. Syndicate will go down in 12th place, but OG Streets do lose 1 in the process.
I like the placement of the glue walls, right? You can't hate that. Blocking the stairwell would pretty much eliminate that push up there, and we saw they had to pull back, get a little high ground vantage point, then snipe them out right there. But it definitely did buy them some time. I'm curious if they had some grenades, maybe they could defend a little better. But I do appreciate the usage of the glue walls right there. Not gonna lie.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Good tower defense.
So you were telling me, the scythe, the story.
So yeah. So yesterday we actually got to see the Scythe make a play in a 1v4 situation. Griffo from Red Falcon was able to 1v4 Invalidos, our current first place team in game number 1, and the Red Falcons turned around and had a very good day on the back of that solo play from Griffo. We'll see if we see anything like that happening here today. Is FGO squaring off against HR? HR going to be where are they on the leaderboard? I'm looking for them.
Take the shot.
I don't see them anywhere. Oh no!
R98 shot, so close. I love this gun too here in this game because it comes with the 8x scope already on it, equipped, ready to go. So talking about sniping, baby, pick that bad boy up. You're good to go. Almost getting the 1 tap out there from distance, but missing it from there.
God, Supporte, you're gonna find Calvin get the knock and the flush as High Religion trying to make short work here. They will get the heels off onto Sporte before getting back on the move and chasing them down. Meanwhile, over here, you got OG Streets again. Gonna find themselves in a fight against TM Dominican. This is Domini with the high ground, spots out Grid. They'll take a few shots over in that direction, but not gonna find any luck.
Yeah, nice little vantage point, not gonna lie. A lot of intel gathering right there as well. Trying to take those shots right before they went to those compounds, but we'll get back to that fight because Ozark up here on the high ground is possibly laying out some type of trap. We can see them all hiding behind these crates. Just waiting for the push here, and let's see if they come out on top here.
Absolutely are. They have that high ground, using that third-person peeker's advantage, seeing where FGO will approach from. FGO, I'm not sure if their spidey senses are tingling here, but they seem to know something might be up as they are just kind of hanging out directly underneath for the time being. We'll see how that one plays out as we get a look at the overall map. The circle finally closing in, but FGO going to make the push. Already, Josh Vert going to go down, and Ozark, the trap working.
Wow. Yeah, not only that, they were able to deploy 2 time turners right there, and those shields pretty much soak up 600 damage each, so that really did help them on that push, but it's not done yet. Ozark, I believe, the 4-member squad here, trying to chase down that last remaining member, just hiding. See them in those cliffs, in those boulders, trying not to get spotted.
And Fuego down to just Axel here. We saw them have a lot of success in their first day of play, but right off the bat now they are down to 1, and Axel just hiding just below the feet here of Ozarks. They saw somebody at range. They may have mistaken that for being Axel, so they're just going to go ahead and dip off of this. So good news for Team Fuego. They get to keep 1 alive.
Wow, I love what I'm seeing right now from Ozark, just like their ability to move together as a unit. They're all grouped up, moving as 4. head on a swivel, as you like to put it. I was tuning in yesterday. Ozark, if they can continue to kind of continue steamrolling right now, that west side of the zone, I can see them racking up a couple points here this game in kill points alone.
For sure. They definitely seem to have a plan that they're sticking with here as we check in with La Bahia, our team that dominated their first day of play. 109 points in one day. That is absolutely nutty. And we'll see them climb up the cliff sides just below Refinery. Now, keep in mind, Wasaka still in Refinery. They're well wide split, kind of all over here, trying to keep an eye on every different angle, gain that information about where guys might be coming from. But La Bahia managing to sneak in just below. You can see C7 also. Dario gonna maybe get a spot here onto the La Bahia boys.
Yeah, kind of back to your point with the Wasaka Esports, like they're so far from each other. Like if one of them was to get knocked out, you have to assume they're gonna get flushed out real quick. So it really comes down to being able to be a good player on an individual level for the squad to really have that confidence here. Dead center to be spread out so far.
Hey, it's almost you definitely have to play your life a little bit there, and keep your head on a swivel, as you said.
As said.
Yeah, as I said. But yeah, I mean, look, hey, Refinery is a great position to hold, but it is very big, and there's a lot of different ways to get into it. So it's going to take all of their cunning to keep eyes on all tracks to get in there and keep that information game strong here as we check in with NB. Be Northblood.
Next zone shift. Refinery still right there, dead center. So honestly, Wasaka Esports, their position alone is pretty huge. And like you mentioned, there's a lot of entry points. They can also use those zip lines, right, to escape, just in case they do get pushed upon and they don't really like the situation that they are in. So I'm really going to be looking at Wasaka Esports to see how they play this one out, because they've been dead center for pretty much the entirety of the game so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, this was the blue zone off the drop, so they are absolutely kitted right now. Gonna have to keep an eye on them to see how they decide to react, or if any other teams really decide to make a push up there. You know it's going to happen eventually. It has to. It seems like, I mean, there's just nowhere else really to play. So we'll keep an eye on that. OG Streets, meanwhile, nakedly running across with his katana out. Naruto running across the deserts here.
Been working on
as one
glutes.
does.
Been hitting up the
Yeah,
gym.
yeah.
You can tell.
He's cut.
You can tell. NB out here still with their sights. Looks like they might have spotted the push uphill from LB here. They're going to start to take these shots here. Well, Esteban with the woodpecker to maybe open up this fight.
Yeah, and they actually get a little bit of help from Wasaka. Otenil going to spot out one of the members of La Bahia, take him out, and get the knock and the flush immediately. So the information game working out well for Wasaka, but as we said, the longer this game goes on, the more chances they are going to get of getting pushed here. As the knock will come through, they'll get the flush onto Klyan. You have to imagine C7 will clean that up here eventually, but no, they gotta get on the move here. The blue is here, and you can see everybody chasing, and look at the position La Bahia has.
Okay.
They can just oversee all of this.
Yeah, like, talk about just gatekeeping. Not only are they able to take shots on all those enemies that are collapsing in from the edge, they also have the high ground, the cliffs, overlooking them on top of that. So it's going to be a challenge for anybody out there on that east side trying to make that push up. And, well, we're getting first-hand look at it right here as Ricky trying to avoid those sight lines, trying to survive down there below.
Yeah, some big shots coming in from La Bahia. Only one kill so far, but we'll see if they can produce more. The new circle did pop, and it actually goes towards La Bahia. So the hard northern shift, that's actually going to be bad news for Wasaka. As you can see, they're going to have to leave the refinery, but there's a lot of teams over here, but it's all multi-level. So you can see Osaka with the high ground, but then you got NB just below them, and then somebody else just below them. So the sniper will come out to try to take out those glue walls a little bit quicker, as we see NB just kind of running around. Look at Oscuro starting to creep around on the backside as well.
Yeah, and we start to see all these players just kind of build their own fort here with those glue walls, kind of block them in and avoid those sight lines. It's going to come down to the utility game here. How many grenades do you have to use? How many grenades can you chuck behind the glue walls and try to get the opening knock?
Speaking of grenades, look at Ozark. They're going to land them all right on top of OG Street, as the grenades are going to be huge players. But look at this. That might be huge. Yep, there it is. Ozark going to lose Achilles to the first grenade. Now here comes the push from HR. They want to make sure that they finish this off as quickly as possible, but so many glue walls, so many chrono walls down. What a fort to construction here from Ozark. As they get the res back, they get all 4 back. They're going to lose 1 right there. The glue walls continue to come down as they are just trying to work around this and trying to find whatever angle they can.
Yeah, we can see those shotguns coming into play too, like the big damage up close and personal. But look, you see in the background, we got a third party on top, tossing some grenades on top of both these teams. But here comes the push now. HR, the front line, 1 of their squad mates, no, 2 of their squad mates going to be taken down. And, well, the Scythe coming into play here.
So Narco, the last one, he does some damage, but does eventually go down. Ozark, can they get in there to get those reses off? No, it doesn't look like they can. They're going to have to move as the blue zone has arrived yet again. And now you can see NB perfectly situated here, positioned to do a little gatekeeping of their own. Wasaka, 7 kills on the board already. They're looking to add to that total as they continue to move across.
To be expected, right? They've been in this position. They've been center map the entirety of the game, so it is in their backyard now. Now they have the high ground. We can see NB trying to return those shots up above. Oh, they're going to have to return shots at multiple angles here because they're right in the middle, in the trenches of the cliffs, and multiple teams are going to be looking right on top of them.
I mean, it's such a rough spot to fight from for MB, but they've managed to keep 4 alive. They managed to take care of Ozark. It's just down to Flacco. Is he's going to pull out with a scythe? It's not going to matter. Elite 7 will finish him off. Grazero going down as well. I believe that's going to be it for... Nope, one's still up for Wasaka Camatron. Still in this, but NB, where do you go now? La Bahia still has 2 up. Wasaka has 1 up. But NB is just pinned down, as you said, in that valley.
Oh, they're making their way uphill, tossing out some grenades, getting real close with these shots, and now we start to see those glue walls to try to block those sight lines, and just like that, the booyah, booyah, Poro. Man, that fight, it was so quick to start, but then so quick to end. That's just the game. That's the name of the game right there.
And you'd be forgiven for losing track of who won that, but it is going to be NB. They barely come out on top, and I gotta say, it was a huge grenade that came out from one. I'm not sure who it was. It might have been Esteban, the MVP of the match there for NB. But what the fact that Northblood was stuck down there in that valley.
Yeah,
that it's called the Valley of Death for a reason, Dave. Like, it just people just can throw all the utility down on top of you, and you're basically just trying to survive. But the fact that they got through and to the late game with 4 up is absolutely huge.
So first place is 12 points alone, and then all their kills 1 point each. And I have to agree with you. They had Wasaka behind them while they were pushing uphill. They were throwing those grenades at LB. They were getting those trades. And not only that, they were able to place those glue walls to really block those sightlines from LB. But what impressed me the most is how they took out the solo from behind from Wasaka that was trying to third party him that whole push uphill. So right there, that shows me that NB map awareness, right? Just awareness in general was on point here in game number 1.
Extreme map awareness for sure. And then you also got to give credit to Wasaka. Obviously, they did get a little bit of zone luck, but as we were talking about during the game, you're holding Refinery as a one-man team, and that's a huge area to try to hold by yourself. And they managed to collect 7 kills before they were even forced out of there. So a nice little stack for them as we see our leaderboard from game number 1, 21 points total for Northblood.
That's a huge point jump right there for Northblood, and that's only game 1, right? They still got 5 more games to go. I'm a true believer in momentum, and I have to assume after a game like that, 9 kills, game 1, they are going to be coming into match number 2 feeling it here, Poro.
You have to wonder. I mean, it was looking pretty good. I mean, it wasn't an easy game by any means for Northblood. They had to work to get to their spots, but we'll see if they can translate that 21-point victory into something substantial going through the rest of the day. Worth noting as well, the La Bahia again top 2, 12 points to add to their already impressive total.
Yeah, we got my boy Esteban. We can see on the list as well. The reason I'm pointing out Esteban is because I saw him here for a moment whip out that woodpecker, that high damage AR, one of my favorite weapons in the game. I always try to pick that up. I love the scope on it. And they were hitting them shots, man. They were hitting them shots right there. We can see Esteban on the list. 3 kills this game. Wow, what a game for North Blood here. What a game. And like we said, 5 more games to go. One team that I was kind of surprised with here, and we kind of talked about in the pre-show, Syndicate. I feel like when you rebrand, when you get a new org to pick you up type of deal, it's like a confidence booster, right? You got a lot more to prove here. Well, we saw they only got 1 point that game. I think that was 1 kill too. Early, they got hot dropped, right?
Yep, hot drop right off the bat didn't go their way. They lose 3 early. Now, fortunately, they still were able to pick up that 1 point from the solo. But yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. You're hoping that you can maybe start off, get the ball rolling in game number 1 with something substantial. Unfortunately, they have to deal with the hot drop. So we'll see what they decide to do, if they make any adjustments for game 2, if they try to still stick with that same hot drop style, or if they try to maybe just avoid and then think about playing for the late game.
And honestly, that's the name of the game, right? The truth is that these teams at the top trying to grind, trying to get as many points as possible, they might target those teams at the bottom, and there's nothing to stop them, right? A point's a point. If they see you as an opponent being an easy opponent, you have to assume they're going to drop you. So I'm just hoping that these teams at the bottom, they are prepared to defend against this in the next 5 maps here today.
It's going to be coming. I mean, it's going to be coming. They've got to climb. I mean, all these teams are trying to make that top 8 so that they can get that pass all the way to the grand final. Nobody wants to have to deal with having to go through the last chance qualifiers. That is just it's a scary proposition. But we got one more game on Kalahari. Everybody's getting in the lobby right now. We're waiting to start this thing up. I wanted to point out as well, another team that really impressed me in that first game, Dave, is Osaka. You know, I thought that they really looked like they had a plan, that they were kind of, or not Osaka, Ozark.
Oh yeah,
they looked like they had, they looked like they had a plan. They looked like they for each phase of the game, right? We saw them take that high ground and kind of camp that out and look to see if they could maybe pick something off of anybody passing by. Found some success with it, and then, you know, they didn't stick around. They just kept on going. You know, they kept on going to the next phase.
And that's good. That's what they need here today, because I'm looking at their numbers here. Ozark Esports, one of their best maps are actually Kalahari, Calamari, the map that we just played right there. We got one more to go, of course. They got 12 kills with an average placement of 7th place. And compared to Bermuda, they only got 1 kill on that map out of the 2 games that they played previously. So I think you have to really come into your favorite map, your preferred map, and try your best here to kind of offset those poor placement points that they do get on those other maps in the pool.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about history. I mean, look at La Bahia. The first day they played, this is the 3rd time they've played a game on Kalahari. It's the first game that they haven't lost, or haven't won rather, and they came in 2nd. I mean, they've got 2 firsts and a 2nd. So La Bahia on Kalahari is just an absolutely terrifying prospect. Now, they only managed to get 3 kills that time, playing from that cliffside location. But we'll see if they can pull something different together here in game number 2.
Yeah, and that's kind of a surprise, right? Because when we saw them up there on the cliffs, we saw them taking a bunch of shots, right? They were peppering down, like 3 teams at one point, making their way in on that east side. They just weren't able to capitalize like I would have thought that they would have been able to with these kill points. So maybe if they are in that situation again where they have a clear advantage, maybe they could concentrate as a squad, as a team, to fire on one enemy instead of everybody taking shots at multiple people, right? I feel like they were kind of getting their heads up in the clouds there, everybody trying to get their own individual kills instead of working as a unit, as a team, to make sure to target one at a time, firing from 4 different angles.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough spot. You could tell that they've played that spot before on the cliffs, and that they know that they can collect some points coming from the north side. But this time around, you know, they had I think it was Wasaka that was up on the refinery that was taking shots down. They got pushed from the side by NB and lost a player right there. So maybe it was getting a little gun shy by losing that first guy, thinking that they were going to get pushed. So they kind of found themselves in a weird spot. They weren't able to spread out as much as they maybe would have liked to. And then again, it could have just been good play from the teams moving in from the north. I mean, you've seen it so many times how good these guys are at dropping those glue walls and just going from glue wall to glue wall, using the time turners just to avoid, dying out in the open. And it's real hard to pick them off, trying to make that run.
Glue walls all damn day out here. That's what they were saying. And Ozark too. We saw them kind of just rewinding back a little bit. Early game, we saw them. It was against Syndicate, right? And they all had those scythes. We didn't get the scythe action like I wanted to, man. I wanted to see all four of them just kind of pow, pow, hit you in the face with that bad boy. Because like I said, I was looking at the damage numbers, and they have graphics on the official website. The scythe, it's like off the chart with damage. So
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So that's something I really want to see. We did see it late game though. One of the players, they whipped it out. They started doing a pow. I think they got a knock with it. But I would love just to see a good old fashioned 4v4 scythe fight, hot drop early game. Like that is what I want to see here today. Mustache Dave's first day here on Free Fire.
That'll be exciting.
Let me get it.
That'd be exciting. I mean, look, hey, when you saw it in the late game, I mean, it was in that MB fight when they were kind of finishing off Ozark, which was probably one of the first really good fights that we saw from NB. Glue walls everywhere, time turners everywhere. When the glue walls and the time turners are just all over the place, whip that scythe out, man. Get in there, get in their faces, and it's just kind of playing it in between and in and out of the time turners. You can get some serious damage done and make some moves there. So I think that was the idea from the Ozark guys, but he was just so low health by the time he had to whip that scythe out that it was one shot. There was only so much he could do.
It was it. I think the meta here, and we're watching the pros here, and we're gonna watch the meta kind of develop. But just as an outsider looking in here, kind of dipping my toes in the water, I could definitely see a meta where people use the drop the beat move, where it helps the sprint speed and restores HP at the same time as moving. I think you drop the beat, you run up there with the scythe, bah, bah, that's it. Like that's the move. That's the game winning move right there. I'm telling you. And if the pro players are listening, thank me later. That's all.
Get that melee play in there, right?
Thank me later.
That move speed, you got to imagine the move speed when you're trying to play around these glue wall forts, right? That would have to be helpful, at least in chasing down these guys that are just kind of running and ducking and dodging behind walls and everything. Well, if you got that move speed burst, you whip out your scythe, whip out your shotgun or your SMG, whatever you feel comfy with, and just run up on them. I mean, they're not going to be able to get away from you. So it'll be interesting to see how these things kind of develop over time. Right now, it is just a cluster of everybody dropping right on top of each other. And if you got the grenades to spam, by all means spam them. But once you run out of those, man, it's start running,
running and gunning, maybe. And we saw the grenades, how important they are too, especially in that last game towards the late game with so many glue walls out on the field. You really can't see nobody. They're behind the wall, but you don't have a clear sight line on them. So you need to really save these grenades for this late game. And we saw them come in clutch, right? Just pop them up, get behind the glue wall, get that knock, and then send it, seal the deal, finish the thing. But the glue walls, it really evens the playing field here and creates some interesting fights, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Apologies for the slight delay. We're waiting on one of our players had a little bit of an internet issue, so we're making sure that we get everybody into the lobby. Everybody's feeling good before we get started. Looks like we're about to turn things around here and get back into that game. But I got to say, I'm interested in how these first couple of games played out. We saw the hot drops are a big player, right off the bat. And that's kind of opening up a lot of real estate for these teams to work around in the mid game, because right off the bat you're losing 6 players, maybe 8 players. If they get the full wipe, you lose a player here and there, so it's all of a sudden you got so much more space to work with. And I'm interested as we start getting later and maybe the hot drops kind of go a different way altogether, if that's going to make it a little bit more congested, if there's not going to be as as much free space as these guys are used to from the group stages.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you see the yellow. It's flashing.
It's
You know
yellow,
what
man.
time it is. It's
Caution.
out to go down. Game time. Game number 2. Let's get into the match, Poro. Run it.
I'm ready. Run it. We're in it. I'm running it. It's being ran. There goes the submarine right there as we're taking a look at our beautiful flyover of the map as we wait and see where everybody decides to go this time around. Haven't been able to see my whole map. Okay, so we got our high loot zone kind of set up over around Santa Carina off on the eastern side. Looks like nobody's going to go there. Okay, so I will say yesterday we did have one team that right off the drop, like they didn't care where they dropped. They would drop wherever that blue zone was. That's where they went. We're not seeing that here today.
Oh, Osaka right there in the middle. Refinery once again. Talk about having a game plan. I mean, why change it up? It worked so well in game number 1. So I definitely respect the hustle, respect the grind, and talk about respecting the hustle. TDM out here already dropping it like it's hot. It's going to be up in Old Hampton against HR.
Yep, High Religion and Team Dominican once again squaring off right off the bat. Looks like High Religion going to find one immediately off of TDML as they're going to try to take that shot on the side. Time turner will drop as Italo is out in the middle of the open. Didn't really want any part of that, but now that's 2 time turners down. Brega has been taken down. Domini going to take the shots at Italo, but Italo is just going to be bait more than anything else as Eric's just going to hard crash in with that SMG, and now Team Dominican believes down to just, nope, they're done. They're out. They don't even have anybody left.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to face check a P90, and that's what we saw right there. And Eric coming out on top. Congrats to them. Good job. Hey, TDM, Team Dominican, that's my team. I said you guys are going to make that comeback, that clapback. Well, review the VODs, review the footage, and don't do whatever you did that last game. Come back strong. You got a couple more games to go. But over here, DK Camus popping down with the AK. Get some shots in, and the glue wall to follow up. Still alive somehow. And
oh my
God. The flick.
Camus just styled on that man. He was taken by surprise. There was a camp coming through. He thought he was going to be able to get the free kill, but missed the initial shots. The time turner beautifully laid down by Camus, and then it was just playing okey doke around the glue walls, and he comes up huge. So what a play there from Camus.
The quick flick. Oh, the
dear.
Rock one catching a grenade in the guard tower right there. Catching it with a mitt. Oh no! Oh no! It's the team.
Yeah,
oh no! Not like this. Oh, the BM. Is the whole team coming? Is the whole team joining in on this? I think so.
He's gonna let him know.
Well, okay.
That's unfortunate for OG Street. They lose 3 right off the bat. They still have Yandel running around somewhere. Should be safe for the time being. I believe I'm looking. Yeah, he's way off in the east now, so he should survive. But that's 3 nice kills there. Picked up right off the bat there.
And you know what that is? That's Dual Kings telling everybody else, don't drop on us. Mammoth is ours. Don't come over here. You don't want the smoke. And if you do, you're going to get embarrassed. That's what we just saw right there. Final laps to seal the deal.
Them boys on notice. All right, Wasaka to spot out C7 from range. See the big shots coming through. Camacho. No knocks to be found. But definitely let them know, hey, you are not welcome up in Refinery. If you want to keep coming this way, you're gonna get a whole lot of bullets in your face. But now Osaka has to be careful because you can see La Bahia just on the edge of your mini map on the eastern side there. That's La Bahia starting to push up back into that cliffs spot where they were holding down earlier.
Yeah, and you have to assume after the last game, we are on a 10-minute delay. They had enough time to rewatch game number 1 by now, and they know exactly who likes to drop up here on Refinery, so they know for a fact, like, that's where they play, up there on the high ground of Refinery. So I wouldn't be surprised if LB possibly might try to take the fight early on here and take that position for themselves.
Yeah, this is, if nothing else, I mean, this is really nice for La Bahia to maybe do a little bit of camping. I mean, this is kind of, it's not on the edge of the circle, but it's towards the southern part, so they could just camp this, keep an eye on everything north, have one person keeping an eye on Refinery just in case Wasaka starts to rotate in their direction, and then they maybe pick up some kills off the sneaky positioning. But right now, C7 looks like they're going to run into Ozark over in Foundation.
Yeah, so we'll keep everybody posted on the mid Refinery fight here because it's a pretty big one. Ozark, we saw last game, they were just steamrolling everybody. Just a death ball. And, well, Flacco going to be trying to open this one up with the VSS.
Ooh.
The press shots out there is going to be taking down Ricky. Trying to get
Flacco.
the confirm out here. This man is not stopping.
Flacco with the double knock. The VSS just coming out huge. And now the rest of Ozark, you can see Flacco's feeding this intel over to his team. He's like, bro, I got 2 knocks. Push him. Get in there. Get the grenades out. You can see Danger already got one in hand. Achilles trying to find a little bit of a different angle. Going to take the AR shots in there. The blue wall's going to save C7 for the time being. But there's the grenade from Danger. Gets the double knock, and here comes the push from the rest of Ozark. Another grenade from Danger will do it. And they get 1 res. Dario going to be the one up. He's got next to no health. And look at the push from Ozark. Clean as you like.
Wow, yeah, and one thing that I did notice is that Ozark had a double VSS comp going on, or they did out of that fight. They had Flacco and Juan P trying to lay down those suppressed shots to allow their 2 teammates to push up within grenade range. So that right there, that was just some clean team communication. You have to assume like they practice this a bunch of times in, scrims or whatnot, because that was just well executed from them.
Absolutely. Flacco with the double knock to lead things off. That was some great shooting from him and putting C7 on the back foot almost immediately. The rest of his team doing a good job of getting back together, completing the push as they're going to hang out in Foundation a little bit longer, maybe finish up their looting. Obviously, they're in that danger zone, but it should be okay for the most part as we check back in with Dual Kings. 3 kills already. They pick up a few more.
I'm still stuck on that last fight, man. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people were hyping up LB here. Yeah, a lot of people were like, LB, they're a team to keep your eye on, number 1 at the end of the day. But I know we've only watched 2 games so far, and this one's not even done yet. But Ozark, they are impressing me big time here, Poro. Like they're just flying through the lobby here.
Absolutely. I mean, if you guys watched yesterday, is a very similar play style to what IT Official was doing, and IT Official saw a lot of early success. Kind of fell off a little bit towards the late game when the fights didn't go their way, but one of these teams that just kind of looks for these fights, puts themselves in good position, and if somebody wants to take the fight to them, they are more than happy to oblige. They will push and push and push until the fight is won or they are dead. So far that's going pretty well for Ozark here as we wait and see where our next circle will take us. Are we going back to Refinery? Let's go. We'll take it.
Ozark are in it. And you know what? I think just kind of looking at the point structure here, you get the early kill points. You get 4 points early game. You're solid. I think after that, switch the game plan up, getting those placement points. You get a nice balance of both of them. You should be good. But talk about being good. Well, Boss. Boss might have spotted out something right here. Calling for the team to slow down. And yes, it did. As the VSS shot's trying to open up the engagement now.
Oh, no. Oh, TBT is just getting ripped apart here as our game 1 winners, Northblood, come up over the top side, and they just happen to see TBT just hanging out. I mean, I think TBT was just looking off in the distance to see what they could, where their next move would be. Unfortunately for them, they just were not looking, and Team Butcher just gets decimated by Northblood here, and they might actually spot out FGO as well.
Did they even take a shot back? Did the Butchers even get the chance to shoot back? That's my question. I don't think they did. It was so quick right there. And now got Northblood on the high ground, who pretty much overtook the Butchers, who were, I believe, looking at this team down here.
Yeah.
On this rune tower. So they were definitely tunnel vision. And, well, NB, they're going to be pulling off this one, trying to maybe wrap around that rune tower, that pyramid down there.
This is I think this is the smart move for Northblood here. They were out of circle. They had the high ground there. They could But I mean, they would just be trading shots back and forth forever with
Getting ready to
FGO.
launch
As
We're
FGO
launching it,
gonna
baby.
send it. We're gonna send it real quick. They got going from ruins to ruins here as they're gonna go over to Foundation. Unfortunately for them, Foundation completely empty as Ozark has since moved on. So a nice long rotation there for FGO, gonna pay off big dividends.
Holy cow. They went from one side of the zone to the next side. Wow, launch pads, OP, you'll love to see it. I love that. Now they're in Foundation, Ozark, they were there earlier on, but they pushed out. Oh, I see another squad. Is that, oh, NB also hitting up a launch pad, and they're going to be sending it right into the danger zone in the center. So a lot of launch pads being used right now.
Nobody wanted. I guess nobody wanted to have to mess with the bridges or trying to make their way around the water. Either way, we're going to cut over to Syndicate, who's found themselves in the crosshairs of Dual Kings. Camus gonna get another kill there. As Dual Kings spotting out the Syndicate boys. I think it's just down to Kakashi and Sus now. 2 up for Syndicate, but they are pinned with their backs up against the zone.
Look at Ozark, pretty much dead center, and their compound has 2 zip lines that DK and Wasaka might use to rotate in that position.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. It's a possibility, of course. I don't know how many players actually use those here, especially late game where there's a ton of shots being fired down there.
Yeah,
Ozark pretty set up right now.
that was the same little platform that Ozark did their camp on in game number 1, where they managed to pick up a couple off of oh man, I can't remember who it was. They ended up getting 1 kill off of somebody by camping on that platform. But we'll see how long they decide to stay there. As we check in with La Bahia, they still have the high ground, and they've moved a little bit farther off to the north. They're going to spot out NB, who's in a little bit of a 2-2 split here.
Long range shots, yeah, and I'm really looking at the 2 squad mates from NB who are pretty much in the front lines. Like, it's their moment, in my opinion, to kind of shine and get the retaliation onto LB, because they're kind of just watching their teammates get shot in the distance.
Yeah, LB, I think I'm not sure if they
even know about them.
Yeah, they started looking off to the south as if they thought they were getting pushed. So maybe they a little bit of bad information there. Either way, we check in with Dual Kings. They're going to continue their fight with Kakashi. Syndicate, yep, that's going to be it for them. They go out in 10th place, but Dual Kings, look at Wasabi. They're having it. They got places to be, man. They got to go, and they got to get there fast. Is Wasaka going to leave, and they're going to find themselves right on top of FGO, and the fight is going to break off quickly.
I like how they had a time turner, a shield, ready to go in that spot where they were going to land with the launch pad. But unfortunate for them, Rago already set up, ready to defend this position.
Oh, so far, yeah, so far nobody completely flushed out. But there you go, FGO Calvin gonna come in with the big double. They will finally find him. They'll be able to get the res on a Grow Zero, but they do lose 1. But FGO, oh man, they had just done that long rotation into Foundation, found it for free, and then Wasaka just drops right on their foreheads.
And Wasaka were definitely at the disadvantage because they 100%, they launched it 1 at a time, right on top of them when they were already set up. So that goes to show you how good Wasaka is with their individual gun skills. But popping back to my favorite team of the day, Ozark, Juan P out here, I believe with the Woodpecker, trying to get some nice shots down range with that AR.
Yeah, they've got Dual Kings pinned with their backs against the zone. The glue walls are coming out. Dual Kings doing what they can to try to make their moves up here, but it's not going to be much. Oh, Camus goes down, and it's been a great game for Dual Kings so far. Look at this. Wasito will do some damage. Managed to get 1 knock. He's going to stay alive for a little bit longer, and as he pushes in, nope, there he goes. He's going to get spotted out, but that might actually put Ozark in a bad spot here.
Triple kill.
You would think so, but they're not slowing down. They're still taking a bunch of shots on anything and everything that they see right now. And LB is their next target right now behind these little concrete barriers. Not a lot of room to hide behind here. There's just nothing but open terrain ahead of them. But they're getting some nice knocks across the way.
Ryu picking that man out of the air. Now they've spotted out OG Yandel, last player up for OG Street. They're going to shoot his toesies out from underneath that glue wall, and that'll be it for him. But it looks like Ozark is able to get everybody off the platform and everybody rezzed back up. Now they just got a little bit of healing to go, but 4 strong for Ozark as they push in to Foundation. NB has made their way in. They lose Bleaster, but they've got 6 kills and 3 up right now, but they've got to take this fight to La Bahia right now.
Yeah, NB right now, they're concentrating on LB, trying to take them up there in the north, and this is Ozark's moment to really push here in the south, but we have a 3-way standoff right here, Poro, with, I want to say, 3 of the best teams in the lobby.
Absolutely. It's going to be tough for NB, though. They've only got 3 up, and they're getting pushed from both sides. There's only so much that they can do as they try to prevent the push from La Bahia. They do manage to get right up on them. That might open up a door for Ozarks to start making a push, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. But Esteban with a beautiful grenade, going to find 2. And here we go. More grenades coming in from Ozark as the trades come through. NB holding strong for the time being. They have not managed to lose anybody. Boss gets knocked low, but is able to get the heals off. Ozark down to just Wampi and Flacco. LB lose Abreu, but they should be able to get the res onto Glows. Maybe? Nope, not going to happen as they have to keep on pushing. The zone has arrived, and now it's NB and Ozark scrapping inside of Foundation. This might be huge for La Bahia.
Esteban, MVP right now. How many more grenades? 9 more grenades. I want to see Esteban hit this one. Hit the clutch, trying to get the heal. Swapping out over to that shotgun. But taken out with the booyah at the end. Esteban, regardless, Esteban, I got you, man. You were popping off that game. Those grenades were money. But LB coming out on top here, Poro.
I mean, that's a huge win for La Bahia. Again, the 3rd win on Kalahari. They've had 3 wins and a second in the 4 games that they've played. Absolutely insane. But I gotta tell you, I gotta be honest, man. I think Ozarks did La Bahia a favor in that one by pushing into the buildings, into the thing, and taking the fight right into the faces of NB. La Bahia was just able to sit on the outside and then just rotate around and pick off whoever was left after the thing was done.
I'm real curious if this is kind of going to be the storyline of the night. You got LB, you got Northblood, Saka, and Ozark. Like those 4 main teams here showing up in the late game, just popping off, hitting them shots. Because I know we're only 2 games deep, but out of all the teams in the lobby, like those 4 in particular, I've been putting in the most work in my book.
Heck of a way to start the day for sure. I mean, Northblood after day 1 was sitting on 60 points. And so far, I mean, that's a win, and they just collect quite a few more in that one. As I'm not sure how many kills they were sitting on towards the end. There was a lot of action going on. I wasn't able to look down and see, but they've looked fantastic so far. They've looked absolutely fantastic. Another 17 points for Northblood, but there you go. La Bahia collecting 17 of their own with that win.
Nothing but money all day long. Northblood, 2nd place, 8 kills, 17 points. And Ozark, well, talk about the kills. This is to be expected because we pretty much saw them throughout the entirety of that game. Just one fight after another. They would take a fight, finish the fight, loot up, heal up, and then go right on with their merry on day, continue taking them shots. And honestly, at the end there, they kind of got sandwiched. They had the disadvantage out there in the south, not a lot of cover, and it really came down to hitting them glue walls and creating your own cover to move across that very challenging terrain. But at the end of the day, you had some of the best teams in the lobby also looking in your direction.
Yeah, it was a wild late game. Wanted to give a lot of credit to OG Street as well. They ended up losing some guys really early on to some. Well, they just straight up got bodied by C7, but their solo player managing to survive and snake his way all the way to, I believe, 4th place, got 7 points. So well done by him. As we check in the kill leaderboard, Esteban back up there with 4, and then a lot of people tied back at 3. Ozark looking real nice so far today.
Esteban, my boy, 2 games in a row. Woodpecker OP. I'm telling you, Poro, that's my favorite gun. And Esteban trying to catch up with their teammate Boss. So Esteban, I'm looking at it correctly, has 13 total kills with Boss ahead of him at 16. So we know that internal rivalry, like, oh, who's the best? I'm going to get the most kills here today. Yeah, right. That's what Boss is saying, still with the 3-point lead. But here's the leaderboard here. Got that one booyah at the top for Northblood. 17 kills, 38 points.
Yeah, man, and look, hey, Ozark, the first day of play, only got 26 points. They've already surpassed that. I mean, they must have woke up feeling dangerous today because they have come in looking absolutely phenomenal in the first two games of play here on Colorado. Now we are about to switch it over. We're about to send it over to Purgatory. We got one more game before we take our halfway break, our halftime break. But I'm interested to see if these three teams, these four teams, really if you want to include Wasaka in there, if they can keep this performance going now that we're switching over a map.
So Wasaka, dead center. I wouldn't be surprised if they just dropped dead center here this game as well. With the new map coming into play, that's just their bread and butter, and I can't fault them at it. It's been working out pretty well for. 'Em. And last game, super impressed. I was super. They got on the launch pads one at a time, no care in the world. They just sent it, and
I mean, that was gutsy.
It was gutsy, and I thought they were dead to rights as well, because every single time one of their squad mates landed, they were immediately getting fired upon, receiving a ton of damage. But somehow, I guess one of their squad mates were able to land, quickly hit the time turner, and that allowed that landing spot to have a shield around it to allow the other two teammates to land on the same spot and provide that support. So when we're talking about big brain plays, Wasaka, there are pictures in the book of the definition of big brain.
Well, and I got to imagine like they felt like they had no other play. I mean, you could see like they pulled down from that platform, and they knew that La Bahia had angles on them. I mean, everybody had angles on them. They were taking shots. They got beat to absolute hell and back. And I guess they decided the best rotation for them at that point was to just send it all the way across the circle and drop right down on top of the head of Fuego. And they should never have won that fight in the first place. But the fact that they came out of it and only lost one guy, and they kept three up after that is just absolutely huge.
Yeah, and I think anybody watching, they would all agree with us that they should not have won that fight. That is just a fact right there. But they did. They did. So hopefully after that insane kind of play right there, they get some fans, because out of the two games so far, that had to have been like the play of the day for me so far. I know we got a couple more games to go, so I won't get too far ahead of myself, but that was a pretty sick play, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot more usage today out of the jump pads than we saw yesterday. I mean, and for good reason. I mean, jump pads are, it's a great thing to make those long rotations, sure, but they're also extremely dangerous because unless you've been doing a hell of a good job scouting, you don't know what's waiting for you on that landing. And the fact that that Fuego was able to land in the middle of foundation, nobody was there. NB did the same thing. They found themselves at a nice intersection. Nobody was there. And then we got the Wasaka. Well, that's what can happen when you take those jump pads late game and you're not really sure what's there. You better be ready to scrap off the drop because, there's a good chance somebody's going to be in there. Wasaka comes out on top of it. Well, we are ready, Dave. The yellow is here. We're ready to get in to game number 3 where we're switching over to Purgatory.
The battle horns here. Game number 3, the yellow flashing. Game number 3 here. Groups A versus Groups D. Day 4 of the group stage. Just a reminder, top 8 from the group stage, they go straight to the grand finals, which is going to have that $50K prize pool on the line. And, well, getting into this game with Wasaka Esports. Surprising me. I thought they would drop dead center. Instead, they're going up there to the north on a nice private island.
It's a nice a lovely private island. They do keep Gamatron off in the distance, just in case, maybe doing a little looting of his own, and just in case they get the hot drop, or maybe just to collect a little bit more information about what's lying off in the points west. They might have a good idea that TM Dominican are way off in Crossroads. Fortunately for TM Dominican, not having to deal with another hot drop here on Purgatory, they get to do their looting in peace and quiet for the time being.
TM Dominican, they need to make sure their shoelaces are tied here this game, because 2 games in a row, they haven't gotten much when we talk about placement points. They haven't moved very much, so they really need to use this game before going into the halftime as that comeback, I think. The comeback mechanic here and try to capitalize on it, honestly. Like you said, they're not getting hot drop this time around, so they will have time to get some decent loot, hopefully, before getting pushed into a fight early game. So best of luck to them, as I truly believe like they need to come out at least a top 5 this game if they want to have that fighting chance to qualify for that top 8.
Yep, nobody wants to have to deal with the last chance qualifier, but right off the bat, we could see a few teams kind of centering up around Brasilia as TBT getting their looting done. But again, this is one of those high. What's the best way? It's a city, so that you can have 3 teams right on top of each other, and you know they'd be okay for the most part. As right now, it's going to be Fuego, La Bahia, and TBT all kind of hanging out in and around Brasilia. As we check in with Syndicate, another team that has managed to avoid the early game fight, but TBT, they're running into Fuego.
Oh no, looks like it. Are they aware? You have to assume so, but kind of just jumping in, you know, not really grouped up, not even with some weapons.
Oh, Jeremy.
Jeremy. Okay, Jeremy getting shot with the VSS across the way, so they are 100% aware, Poro, that there's a team lurking nearby.
They are now. They're going to spot out Calvin as well. Big shots coming through from Blue. Will do some big damage, but won't be enough to get the knock just yet. As TBT trying to find different positions that they can get, see if they can maybe get a flank here onto Calvin. They haven't been able to flesh out Jeremy just yet. As you can see, Joshua and Axel going to try to protect themselves on that side from flanking, getting flanked here. Papatico have to drop the glue wall and maybe go for a reposition again. So good awareness from Fuego to expect that flank to come through.
Ooh, Papatico still hitting them shots from outside downtown across the hill, and well, they're going to need to be very cautious not to be running past those windows, because Papatico has your name on that list, and talk about being on that list. Well, Calvin in the front lines, practically a 1v3 right here for him.
Yeah, this is a big problem for Calvin right now. As FG Fuego, they're trying to go for a reposition, but Calvin going to go down. Axel going to get spotted as well. So good awareness coming in from TBT, and now all of a sudden Fuego down to just Joshua, as he's just going to run.
Yeah, when in doubt, run it out. Run it out. Try to get those placement points, and we'll see. We'll stay up to date, because LB, this is a huge fight. LB out here versus Ozark. We've seen 2 games in a row. Ozark have been on the cusp, on the ball, early game with their kills, and they have been steamrolling, but it seems like they might have met their match here this game.
Yeah, this is a fight that LB wanted. They've been chasing down Ozark for quite some time. Ozark tried to send it towards the river, and we're going to make the cross, but LB coming up over the top just in the nick of time managed to get a couple of knocks here. Flacco, though, doing some big damage of his own. Did trade the knockback. Well, obviously, La Bahia gets the res off. You can see Flacco has nothing but a tree to hide behind right now, and here comes Glows with the flank. He's going to do the damage, and Dominos will be the one to get the last bullet into him. It looks like Achilles is going to be able to escape, but he's going to be the only one. Ozark turning things around here in game number 3.
What a flank, dude. What a flank. Ozark, listen, I'm still on the hype train. I'm still the conductor. I'm still going to be rooting for you, I believe. So right here, hopefully this game just gets some solid placement points, and then use that halftime to just relax, go get a drink, empty that bucket, and then run it back. Run it back with the 3 final maps of the day. But getting into this game, LB, Poro, looking to what? Finish first place here today, maybe? Possibly.
I mean, they might as well. They got comfy with it. They had it after week 1. Maybe they like it so much they want to get it back. But this is definitely a different play style than we saw from them in the first 2 games, where they just kind of found those cliffs and just hung out there, gaining a lot of information. This is a more aggressive form of La Bahia, where they're just kind of hunting down Ozark. Now they get a really favorable fight, and they managed to clean up 3 off of that. We'll see where they decide to go. Looks like they're heading back towards Brasilia now. Syndicate, meanwhile, this is going on way out west, outside of Circle. They're going to run into C7, take a few shots in. No knocks coming through just yet.
No knock coming through, but Syndicate, they are down there at the bottom of the leaderboard. So I wouldn't be surprised if they really try to take this fight against C7, because they desperately need these points in general here. So I think it's do or die here. Syndicate, they need to take this fight, and they need to win it.
Absolutely. The brakes got pumped a little bit there as Jordy going to land a nice knock on to Stepdad. They do get the res back up, Syndicate back up to 4 strong, but they've got to regroup a little bit here. But look at the repositioning coming out from C7. You can see on your mini map that flank coming in from the south. They're sending 2. They've left Jordy to kind of keep an eye on these guys, make sure that they stick around and that they don't go anywhere different. But Daryl, he's got Shotgun Rider with him as they try to push up and see if they can maybe catch an off angle.
Yeah, and I'm very surprised that Syndicate even allowed C7 to reposition, because now we got C7 pretty much surrounding them. We can see the mini-map. They got 4 corners going out here, and now here comes the zone to apply a little bit of damage. But Syndicate, they're so grouped up. They're about to get caught in the crossfire.
Oof.
And yes, C7 setting up a nice pinch around Syndicate. And here comes Ricky with that flank, trying to surprise him right now.
Oh my God, what a play. What a beautiful play coming from C7. I mean, they just absolutely ran up on Syndicate here. They had no chance in hell. C7 gets 4 of the, I mean, that was just textbook.
They wrapped around the compound. Syndicate, they were grouped up trying to gather intel because they lost sight of C7, who they opened up the gunfight against right there. So
yeah,
very nice comeback right there from C7. But talk about some more fights. We got EK out here currently spraying down the squads of OG.
Oh yeah, OG Street in a bad way here. Yandel and Viper, the last 2 up. They're going to try to hide around the glue wall fort as the rest of Dual Kings are pushing in. They also have Joshua from Fuego kind of creeping around in the distance there. OG Viper going to find one. Yandel has gone down. Viper going to try to escape. Where's he going? He's going to try it.
Nowhere.
Nope, ain't happening.
The lobby. He's going to the lobby. Who popped that smoke barrel, by the way? Because that just added to the chaos. Somebody, that little smoke barrel right here just made it even more chaotic. And honestly, I'm surprised DK didn't just try to lop a 2-pointer, a grenade into the basket right there that I was looking at from the 2 glue walls.
Yeah, they need more of a backboard, you know? Yeah, they're backboard players. That's all it is. But,
they won,
you know
at the end
what?
of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They won. They got 4 kills, and ooh, Zero gonna have to drop that time turner as Braga had a real nice angle on him, was landing the big shots here. Domini gonna do the same, but he's gonna take some big deeps and return as well, as it's Wasaka versus Team Dominican. Braga very, very low, is about 1 shot. He's dropping the glue walls, but he's got to be careful about his feet. He's okay. Should be safe for the time being.
And look at this. We even see the little penguin shaking his head like, man, you are just throwing right now with that first glue wall. You were just throwing. And here they come. A 3rd glue wall. Okay, well, let's see. A 4th glue wall. How many more? No more glue walls. And, yep, no more glue walls. Nothing else to defend themselves with. And their little buddy penguin, I guess they were shaking their head for a reason.
Yeah, he was trying to force them to play outside of their time turner shields, and it did work out as pretty well there. Camatron gonna find the last kill there, as he got knocked pretty low there. It was looking a little bit dangerous for a second, but cleaned up, and that is gonna do it for EM Dominican. As we check
so much action, like just all over the place, right? Like we go to one fight to another. It's like, I kind of love it. I love the pace, and to keep everybody updated, the solo from Ozark still alive, by the way. They're going to be kind of trailing C7 behind them. They're going to be taking a little bit of damage out there, but remember, the objective, survive. Try to get those placement points after pretty much getting mopped up from LB very early on.
Yeah, Kalahari a little bit more wide open, a little bit bigger, as we see One Punch Man just hanging out on the top of the cliffs and on the top of the tower.
I think got a cut.
You know, I thought he was one. I know, right? So it's one punch. You're a melee. Let's go. But yeah, Purgatory delivering a little bit more action as it's forcing these guys to play a little bit closer together here as we check in on the overhead view. Let's see, Achilles from Ozark still alive out in the zone right now. And then Joshua on the south side trying to rotate back around is going to make it close to be here. He's going to have to be careful. As TBT, well, they found Dual Kings.
All right, and Dual Kings, to note, are kind of separated compared to TBT. So let's see, the main goal right here of TBT, take them out one at a time, separate them from their squad mates, and just pick them apart. And I believe that's what they're attempting to do, trying to breach the gap, trying to get close with these glue walls here in a 2v1.
These glue walls, you got to remember, they work both ways. They're trying to throw them down to defend themselves, but it's actually providing a little bit of cover for TBT to make their push right up on top, and they'll be able to refill their supplies here just a little bit. TBT, you got to wonder what their utility is looking like, because they've been getting in quite a few fights. As we can see, the rest of Duel King is going to send it a little bit closer to the center of the circle here.
Well, we saw them right there, all grouped up like little vultures, trying to snatch the loot, right? Snatch the grenades, the glue walls before their teammates can. So, to your point, I have to assume that their utility, their ammo, all this stuff is pretty low at this point, because they have been taking a lot of fights here so far.
Well, it's going to depend on how much they were able to loot off of their fallen enemies as we check in with NB. On the south side, they do have High Religion just off to their east, but you can see based off of the terrain that they looks like they know that they're over there. They're just kind of hiding for the time being. Is Achilles.
Ricky. Yeah. Oh, Ricky. Not like this, Ricky. Let him survive, Ricky. Oh, they're pulling off of Achilles. And I think because the next zone popped and it was a hardship down there to the south, they don't care to investigate the situation anymore, Power.
You don't want to take that risk. You don't want to lose anybody to that snake. Although they might not have even been aware of his presence, as they're just going to send it back in, down towards Brasilia. Let's see, we got a few teams that might run into each other. I mean, it looks like Wasaka is going to have a pretty free and clear rotation path in, depending on whether or not La Bahia has vision over what's going on to their north. Looks like TBT going to wrap back around on the east side. They may end up running into High Religion here pretty shortly.
Let's see. They're going to be pulling up right behind them, too. So it's almost as if, I want to say they're hunting them down, right? Like, they all got their melees out. They're trying to boost up, run a little quicker. There's got to be an open field right now. Let's see. Strong with the 1-2 punch. But, of course, those glue walls just so strong.
Yeah, you got to be quick with them, and they definitely were. Papatico going to go down. Nice shots coming out from supports. They're going to keep High Religion alive for the time being, and that's actually going to give High Religion a little bit of time to spread out here and maybe get a little bit better positioning to take this fight with TBT. Can TBT actually, when they turn things around, they're actually getting shot in the back from Duel Kings.
Wow, so we're about to have 3 teams out here on the edge, just kind of duking it out.
Big shots.
Marco's trying to survive, and, well, that's going to be it. When you poke the bear fights back, and HR still out here, still on the high ground, just putting in work right now.
Oh, man, it was just a really unfortunate time for TBT to run into High Religion. I mean, they were just cresting the top of that hill. I mean, all it was going to take was them to just get over the top, and unfortunately for TBT, they weren't able to get the knocks that they needed, and here you go. It's just cleanup time at this point as we check. Oh my goodness, Wasaka, they have run right into La Bahia, and it looks like so far Wasaka down to just Otaniel. He's going to try to keep things going with that micro Uzi, gets him knocked low. Cryox still alive, but the shotty will keep him going as La Bahia barely survives.
Not gonna lie, I saw the Uzi. I thought the Uzi was going to come out on top right there, but Uzi versus shotgun to the gut. Well, we saw exactly what happens right there. And during that whole fight, well, the solo from Ozark still alive, but what's happening here? Strong, TBT in the trailer. Gonna be getting one? Oh, okay, you had to. You can't let your boy go out like that. But then again, they did push it by themselves. But the luck.
What?
The luck. We're behind the bed. We're behind the crate. Do they see him?
They absolutely see him. Okay.
The couch. Behind the couch.
Oh, no. Ricky going down to his own grenade. Oh, boy.
That couch, man.
Sometimes it gets a little spicy in there in the close quarters combat here. Cryox actually going to take himself out with another grenade launcher. Here's Dual Kings end up coming up, sneaking up on La Bahia here. And now it's just down to glows. So La Bahia getting involved in a couple of late game fights, and they take so much damage from it. Glow's going to try to send it. Doesn't matter. Supporte from the high ground.
Religion, like, they've been getting shot for at least 5 minutes right now, Oro, from multiple teams, right? But somehow they're able to just continue to survive. They're continuing to lay down those glue walls. And look at this fire right now, this synergy. They're all just pre-firing on the same target at once, taking out the walls and getting a nice amount of damage on the enemies out there.
Yeah, we see we are down to our top 4. Joshford managed to somehow stay alive for Fuego, making it to the late game here as we have 2 squads, 4 strong. C7, High Religion, and North Blood still in it.
Wide rotate. A wide rotate.
They gotta go somewhere, man. This is just rough. I mean, they're on these wide open hills, and yet you can see they're paying the price now as Yard goes down, Eric goes down. It is just a killing field right now for C7. They pick up Dariel's now got 5 kills, 8 kills total for the team. As Joshford gonna come around. Joshford,
Pow. With the pow. These glue walls so strong. C7 trying to get the heals up behind the glue walls, but NB, they're not going to allow them to get a reset. We can see them on the front lines. Lester taking out the bat right there, trying to group up with their squad mate to help to get the support, but wasn't even needed. NB, they recognized the situation. They saw C7 were extremely hurt. They knew C7 were healing up. They saw the glue walls getting popped, building their own fort, their own cover. But I do appreciate how NB did not allow them any time there at the end to even get the heal off. They immediately made the push, and that right there was a game-winning play for them.
I mean, look, Northblood, you got to give them all the credit in the world. Fantastic game, get the win as well. But Joshver, the solo snake from Fuego, coming in and absolutely spoils, ruins C7's game there. He got the knock, got a flush, got another guy extremely low, and that just opened the door for NB to make their push. And from that point on, it was just easy.
Being a solo. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's even looking at you until you take them shots. C7, though, I have to say, was that their best game yet here today? I think so. They were involved in a lot of fights, early, mid, and late game. C7, very impressed with them. I was really impressed with High Religion. High Religion, that game, they got only 5 points. I'm actually a little surprised, but the 12 points right there in total should definitely help them out because they were getting shot from a ton of teams on that east side. But every single time they just continued to luck out because that team that would take shots at them ended up getting shot in return. And High Religion were just catching break after break after break until the very end.
Sure were. Then all their luck ran out, though, unfortunately, as they had to make that wide open rotation, and C7 just ate them alive. So 9 kills going into the bag of C7. That'll be another 18 points for them. Northblood with their second win of the day at 17. As we saw Joshua for Fuego, no kills, but he managed to pick up 8 points just off a placement. You gotta love the performance coming out from our solo snakes here as we take a look at the overall kills from that game. Dariel was 6 piece, man.
6 piece for Dariel. Dariel practically got by themselves a 5th place equivalent in points because 5th place gets you 6 points. So talk about really
that's worth.
That is totally worth. And C7, they got 2 players on this list as well. So that's a big time accomplishment. The only kind of, I guess, fear that I would have is we are going to send to the halftime break, right? It's like 10 minutes. Are they going to lose that momentum? Are they going to lose that steam, right? Are they going to relax a little bit? Because you have to assume they are pumped up right now after their last game's performance of getting so many kill points for the overall, because I do believe C7 were one of those teams that were leading that mid-pack, really looking to use today to come back and breach that top spot.
Yeah, I mean, look, C7 after their first day only had 23 points so far today. They've managed to put together 24, and that's kind of with that performance that they just submitted, where they got 18. So, C7, that was the first real game that we've really seen from them, kind of showing how good that they can be. So, we'll see if they are able to turn that into and make that snowball and turn it into a couple more good performances, because they still have a shot here, Dave. But like you said, I mean, you hate seeing it right before we cut into the 10-minute break.
Green arrows good, red arrows bad. And C7 had those green arrows that game. Ozark had a red arrow that game. Wasn't able to catch what that solo ended up getting for placement points for the team. We did see them kind of go out in a blaze of glory, find that couch, just be like, hey, I'm not here. I'm not here. Don't worry about me. I'm just a fixture. I'm part of the couch. Don't worry about me. But the team that breached them said, nah, we ain't going to let you stay up here. Not today.
Not today. Well, like we said, we are about to take that break. When we come back, we will have the second half of our 6 games for the day. We've got one more on Purgatory before we finish it up with 2 games in Bermuda. So don't go anywhere, guys. We are going to be right back.
Hi, survivors. Welcome to the Free Fire Pro Series for North America. Participants will get the chance to showcase their skills and compete for their share of the $50,000 prize pool. This inaugural season will take place across 3 months in 4 unique phases: the Open Qualifier, the Group Stage, the Last Chance Qualifier, and the Finals. Teams will accumulate points throughout each of these stages, resetting for everyone at the start of each new phase. We will kick things off in the Open Qualifier. Teams from across the entire North American region will be split into lobbies of 12 teams, where survivors will battle it out for 6 games to earn their place in the next round. Teams will be awarded points for their in-game performance, including points for their final placement in the lobby, as well as their kills throughout the games. At the end of these games, the top teams from each lobby will move on to the round of 96. This round will feature new lobbies and 6 more games for each team. The teams that finish in the top 6 for their lobby will move on to a final qualifier round of 48, after which only 24 teams will be left standing to move on to the group stage. The group stage will be comprised of a 3-week season, with 2 game days each weekend. The teams promoted from the Open Qualifier will be placed into 4 groups of 6 teams each. Throughout the season, these groups will be paired on game days in a round-robin format, so that each group will face off against every other group in a 12-team lobby at least once. At the conclusion of the group stage, the top 8 teams from this stage will qualify directly to the finals. The bottom 4 teams in the overall standings will be dropped from the tournament, and the remaining teams will move on to the Last Chance Qualifier. The Last Chance Qualifier will see the teams placed 9th through 20th from the group stage compete in their final opportunity to qualify for the finals. Their bouts will take place over the course of 2 game days, with 6 games per day, all in a final bid to earn their shot at the championship. After this intense LCQ stage, only the teams in the top 4 will be able to move on to the finals. To cap things off, our grand finals will take place over the span of 3 days, with the top 12 teams from the tournament playing 6 games every day for a grand total of 18. Here, teams must go all out to earn points and stake their claim as the inaugural Free Fire Pro Series champions. At the end of the 3 game days, the 12th finalist will receive their share of the $50,000 prize pool, and a North American champion will be crowned.
Hello, everybody. We are back once again. Thanks for sticking around after our nice little break. Hopefully, you got some snacks, maybe some ice cold beverages to set you up, get right for the last 3 games, Dave.
Yeah, right, because Launchpad City out here, right? Launchpad City.
We got players dropping on everybody's heads around here, man. It's crazy.
And it's about time. I'm actually happy. We were talking on the break. You know, you were telling me yesterday nobody used launch pads. Today, everybody, or not everybody, but we're seeing it a lot. And personally, I think launch pads OP. Launch pads OP, GG, easy, all day, all the abbreviations. Because it's exciting. I like it too because you can go from one side of the map to the other, just like that. You go, woo, just launch in the sky. And I'm still super impressed with the Wasaka launchpad play where they did the launchpad, and right when one of the players dropped, they dropped the time turner to use that shield to allow their teammates to safely rotate across the map. Like, that right there, one of the best plays that I've seen here all day.
Yeah, it's huge, man. I mean, it's very, it's very high risk, high reward, right? Because depending on how far you want to go, I mean, if you're wanting to go on the complete other side of the circle, you've got no idea what's over there. You have no idea what's going to be waiting for you when you drop down. We saw that with Wasaka earlier, where they dropped down. They got Fuego just sitting there waiting for them. But it's if you can pull it off and you can get away with it. I mean, you can take yourself out of a poor position on one side, put yourself in a more favorable position on the other. But again, high risk, high reward. We'll see if any more of those launch pads come out here in the rest of the day. Now, it has been the story of a couple of teams here. If we could maybe take a quick look at our overall leaderboard just to remind everybody where we're at before we head into our final 3 games. North Blood with 2 booyahs on the day so far.
Booyah!
I knew you wanted to do it.
Yeah. Oh, the battle horn, Oro. The battle horn. What's this sound like again?
Yeah, we are.
Game number 4. We can see the yellow. You know what time it is. It's time for match number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you had a good little halftime break. Hopefully these players are warmed up, ready to go. This is going to be Groups A versus Groups D, day number 4.
I need to set that thing up. I need to get the battle horn on a button so that whenever that yellow screen pops up, we'll be ready for it and we get everybody hyped for it. But yep, there you go. Plane is in the air. We are dropping in for game number 4. Last game on Purgatory. Now, last time we saw NB come in with the clutch victory, although they did get a little bit of assistance from a solo player in taking out C7. But we'll see if Northblood can they pull off 3 wins in a day, Dave? Do you think they got it?
They got it. But before they get there, Wasaka Esports, they're going to be getting hot dropped on. The thing to note is that there's only 3 of them here because Camatron is not with the team. So will they be able to come out on top? Tommy Gun up close and personal, trying to do that cross shot, trying to get those body shots in. Oh, so close. Oh, close. And looks like they're able to possibly come out on top here.
Oh, he's trying to go for the res.
What's going on?
He's trying to go for the res. Clayton is the last one up for Team Butcher. He's trying to see. Oh, Grow Zero with 20 HP. What a clutch! Oh my God.
What was that?
Team Butcher, just unfortunate luck there for them, man. I mean, they caught a 4v3, but did you see the way that Wasaka was playing in and out of that time turner? I mean, they were coming inside the wall, they were going outside the wall. It was a thing of beauty to behold, and Team Butcher just gets absolutely destroyed.
Some would say they got butchered.
They did. It was unfortunate.
Chop and block. What? Who was that last player for Team Butcher? Kalen?
Yeah, I think it was Clay.
Did they not have playing? Did they not have a gun? I was trying to. What was going on? It's like they kept looking at the revive and then they like pulled back, wrapped around.
Yeah, they might. I think Clay might have been trying to go for something sneaky there, but unfortunately for him, it just did not play out. And I mean, you got to give credit to Otaniel. I think Otaniel was the last player up for Wasaka, was able to pull off the res immediately, and you know, didn't waste any time, didn't second guess himself, just immediately went for it, and it ends up paying off huge. Wasaka picks up 3 kills to start off their thing, and they're in the high loot zone.
Honestly, I thought Wasaka, the 3 squad mates were definitely dead to rights in that situation. It was just mayhem, like you said, just shots going back and forth. And I think the time turner wall definitely came into play for Wasaka.
That was beautiful.
Right there. And that thing just blocks, I believe, 600 worth of damage. So,
which early game, I mean, that's a ton.
Yeah. Yeah, if it wasn't for that, I would have to assume Wasaka would be dead right there. Because Camatron did not drop with them as well. So, wow, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's the RNG factor at play, isn't it? You know, you do the hot drop, you don't know what weapons are going to be waiting for you when you get there, and unfortunately for TBT, I mean the one guy that they had that was able to stay alive, Clay, and unable to pick up anything, unable to find anything, and so you know, as a result, TBT goes down, and Wasaka picking up 4 kills here as we check in with High Religion. They're rotating down to the south, and they're going to find an Ozark just out there in the middle of nowhere. What a shot from Yarrow. Immediately gets the knock and a flush on Achilles.
Almost feel like Ozark kind of thrown here these last 2 games. Not going to lie. Achilles was able to kind of pull out that clutch car last game, get some placement points, but Ozark, 2 games, first 2 games of the night, they were just popping off. They were taking fights back and forth, winning all the fights, by the way, racking up a ton of kill points. But last game and now this game, they're just getting caught slipping.
It seems like, the first couple of games, Ozark was the one that was taking the fight to everybody else, and right now it's like they're getting surrounded on all sides. Look at High Religion, the instant rotation to get down to that low ground. They're gonna find Juan P. That's gonna be another player down for Ozark. They are down to 2. You can see on your mini map, Danger is kind of in danger. He's right there, but it doesn't look like High Religion has spotted him out. They may have just assumed that the rest of the boys for Ozark have left. Actually, Danger's the last one up, so he's going to have to play the solo game here. As I mean, that's what Ozark's had to do now twice.
Oh, hard rip right there. So best of luck to Danger. So out here, the last one alive, trying to survive, trying to get at least the top 6, because 6th place gets you 5 points.
Yeah.
I think if they could get 5 points per game, consistently, that should definitely keep them up there. But looking at the map still, High Religion, I think they're aware that there still might be a solo.
Oh, they're hunting.
Yeah, in the area. We can see them spreading out there on that mini map, and I don't think they're going to let Danger just slip under the radar and survive. So, well, we'll keep up to date with that, because we might have some more action here popping off.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye over in that direction. Now, it is worth noting the last 2 games, we've seen solos kind of snake their way into high position, high placement with 0 kills. Game 2, I believe we had somebody finish with 7 points. The last game, we saw Joshua from Fuego finish with 8 points just off of placement, and he ended up kind of influencing the outcome of the game, whether or not he liked it or not. I mean, he was able to kind of ruin C7's chances at getting a dub there. So, we'll keep an eye on Danger, see if he can maybe be our 3rd solo, kind of step up here today as we check in with NB.
Yeah, Northblood, we see him out here just kind of eating some shrooms, getting boosted out their minds. Let's see if they can make it into this compound, though. Are going to be receiving some shots. And Fuego. One of the teams that you told me coming into the day, keep your eye on, Dave. Keep your eye on. What would you say? Like, how do you feel so far about just their overall performance so far today?
It feels like they're making the most out of what would otherwise, by any means, be considered kind of a bad day. I mean, they've been getting involved in early fights. They've been kind of losing guys early and having to play with just 1 or 2 and trying to get placement points. They haven't really been able to keep all 4 guys up and get involved in some late game fights. So we'll see if they can keep all 4 up here. You can see, it seems like it's impacting their play, right? They're taking shots over towards MB, but not really pushing. They're just kind of holding and playing tower defense over there in the southern side of Brasilia.
Yeah, and this is not what you want to be doing if you're trying to be at the top. So hopefully you got Calvin, you got Josh, you got Jeremy. I think if they could kind of get some of that confidence that we expected them to have here today, take those shots, maybe get a knock. Don't be afraid. Throw those glue walls, make the push, close the gap, and get into a fight. Get some kill points. We know you got it in you. Shoot, your logo's on fire, right? Like, your logo's on fire out here. So if you're going to be coming in with the hype, well, show us what it's all about. And talk about showing us what it's all about. DK, chilling right now. Prone, not making a move.
This is a lot different than we saw in our first game here on Purgatory, where it was just constant, nonstop back and forth scrapping. This time around, teams taking it a little bit slower. They're finding some good position to bunker down, and we got 4 teams kind of centering up around Brasilia and just waiting in the dead center of the circle. You've got a couple of teams off to the north that are just slow playing it in. Wasaka taking their time getting in here. OG Streets getting maybe a little bit close to Team Dominican here, as you can see TDM just kind of on the run on that northern edge. OG just hanging out inside, though, waiting. We'll see if who spots who first.
Wasaka. That's one of my favorite teams. Sorry to go on a tangent. But Ozark Danger still alive, Poro, by the way. Still alive out there. So High Religion did give up on that one, and for good cause, because they're looking to reposition. They're looking to center up, and, well, they're going to be just south of Fuego, so we'll keep you updated on that. Oh, Hey, shout out
Yep.
to the observers.
There you
A
go.
shout out to the observers right there. Because I think this is a good position. And I think that's a good call as well from High Religion. Like, forget about that 1 point. Reposition. Hope they get the next zone, which they do, by the way. And I think
Sure.
that spot that they're in could be huge. I know we get the God eye view here, but Syndicate down there in the south, they're gonna have to push up somewhere. I think HR set up in a great spot to possibly gatekeep them and get some more points here.
Yeah, we'll see what High Religion decides to do. Obviously, they don't have to move just yet. But they are on that kind of southern edge of the circle, so it wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility for them to try to start making a little bit more of a northerly rotation. But we'll keep an eye on them. Wasaka, looks like they sent Rosero back out to the island to do a little looting for himself, and he'll eat a little bit of zone damage, but nothing too terrible. As Wasaka will get back on the move. They're coming in from the north side, which is completely wide open right now, Dave.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, these guys, this is going to have to come to a head. It looks like TDM has an idea that OG Street is in here, and OG Street, well, they're just going to bunker down and wait for TDM to make a play.
Yeah, this is also in the north, so if Wasaka maybe get a whiff of this, maybe, just maybe, they'll try to investigate the situation, and OG will get caught in some sandwich action, some classic PB&J sandwich action. Well, let's see, because TDM, they know for a fact that they are in here, and they're just laying out the trap.
There
They
they
know
go.
OG, they're going to have to push across this open field, and it's only a matter of time.
Oof. Yeah. OG tried to make the run as 4, and they instantly get opened up on. TDM had set up a nice little spread, multiple lines of sight coming into this, and they're going to find some initial knocks here. Kurama going to come in with the grenade, try to lay it up on top of them. Not going to find anything. The reses will come out for OG Street for the time being. Yandel slowly healing back up. Another grenade comes through. Going to find Yandel. Good placement from Kurama as the next one will come through. He's going to find the rock as well, and that's going to be 2 picked up. Rid trying to make the run. The shot's coming through from Kurama, not going to land, but TDM picking up some nice kills here onto OG Street.
It's one of those moments where if you're OG, you wish, oh, what's he playing the piano on him right there? What's going on right there? This is one of those moments where you wish you had that launch pad, right? That would have been the perfect moment. You throw out those glue walls, you get the launch pad, and you just get on out of there. But they didn't have that. They didn't have that in their arsenal. And TDM, well, they laid out the trap. They waited patiently, and right when they got the advantage, they started to take them shots. And, well, OG, they kind of just fell like dominoes right there. And it's up to Viper, the last one alive, to survive, who is going to be taking a lot of damage out there in the zone.
Sure is. Gotta give credit to TDM for doing some decent scouting there as well, figuring out that OG was kind of bunkered down inside that compound. As we see Viper on the move here, I think he might be riding in a vehicle as we see the circle wheel cut down to the south. That's going to be good news for all our teams that decided to post up in Brasilia, as it's going to be a lot of teams just kind of bunkering down and playing the hard cover. You can see Wasaka has made their way in here as well. They've got NB just off to the side. Now, NB is outside of the circle, so they're going to have to make a move here. As Viper did have that vehicle, so going to be sending it all the way over to the eastern side of the zone, where doesn't really know what's going on over here, but he knows that TDM is over here, so that's the only thing that matters.
He is zooming, and what Viper knows is they need to survive. And they just passed by Ozark Danger as well. I don't think Danger took any shots. They didn't want to risk it, and Viper going to be sending it all the way down to the hardship side, where they have to assume it's going to be free and clear, and they are right, so they might be able to survive a little bit. But over here, NB taking a bunch of shots here. They're just trying to get a spot in the new zone.
They managed to do it, too, as some decent glue wall placement there will get them all the way across into a more hard cover position, and they'll be able to heal up. Once again, they do have Fuego kind of looking down on them, but that compound that they are in is inside the circle, so they don't have to worry about it for a little bit here. As we check in with Fuego, you can see the lines that they have. Joshua with the high ground on top of the roof is going to be taking some shots over down. I believe that was towards Syndicate. C7
I love this.
Yep, they came
love
in.
this.
They came in from the island on that southwestern side, and they're just doing a long wrap.
Yeah, they got this little cliff to work with. Nobody's behind them on the shorelines of the beach, and they have a lot of terrain to kind of rotate and really pick who they want to take the fight with. If it's Syndicate, if it's DK, it's a matter of time. We're going to see. We're going to catch up with them very shortly because TDM still out here, 4 kills so far. Oh, they're trying to get another kill before they have to move. Next zone did pop, did go on up, and they're going to be right here on the edge, actually. But you have to assume there's going to be a couple teams with their eyes on this exact spot.
Jeez, the hardships absolutely brutal in this game as La Bahia maybe taking a little bit too long to make their way down here. By the time they actually made their rotation from building to building, TDM had arrived. Now they have taken care of most of those players. It's down to just Domity, but they do lose glows in the process. They have to clean out whatever's left of Domity, but all of this now has to come to a head. NB has to get through Fuego. Fuego's got to get on the move. Wasaka's off to the north as well, has to move. High Religion, everybody has to move. So this is about to be extremely bloody. A lot of fights about to break out here, Dave.
Yeah, and I really think it's going to come down to just hitting these grenades, right? Hit those grenades, open it up, and then make the collapse. And NB, well, they're trying to do just that. Shotguns locked and loaded in their hands, trying to get really close to Fuego, who have a couple nice positions on the high ground. I saw one of their squad mates up there on the rooftop. Might be able to overlook their teammates while they are going to be getting pushed here.
Axel going to hold down for it. Blester will go down. You can see the kill feed is just lighting up as fights are going on all over the place, just as we knew they would. You've got C7 fighting Dual Kings. You've got Fuego fighting NB. NB fighting OG. High Religion trying to make their way in. Syndicate trying to make their way in. La Bahia does clean up Wasaka on the north side. So La Bahia doing a hell of a job holding down their zone right now as we wait and see who is going to be left alive here on the eastern side, the southeastern side.
Dude, look at this zone. Oh, my, this is the
There's
third
nobody
shift
in it.
in a row. Nobody in it.
Jeez.
So, HR, let's see if you can come out on top. This is going to be Syndicate, who are fighting for their spot, for their livelihood. They are at the bottom of the leaderboard. Looks like we are going to be getting one of these nice time turners, followed up with the glue walls, and they're going to be making the push. Katana's in hand. Get that increased movement speed. They're trying to get real close, but I see C7 also in the distance. So Syndicate, well, let's see what they can do. Backs against the wall.
Well, Supporte had a hell of a good flank there, and he's going to find one off the bat. Hiru will find another as Sus goes down. It's down to just, Syndicate trying to survive here a little bit. They're trying to go for a res out in the zone. It looks like High Religion just going to keep on pushing. There you go, Hero. You will get taken down. High Religion keeps 3 up, but now they're pushing right into C7. Jordy and Dariel already waiting for this, but HR not wasting any time. They're going to push right in. They're going to immediately destroy them, but now they have to deal with La Bahia, who's also getting pushed on the eastern side by the 4-man squad of Fuego. This is setting up nicely for a Fuego win, but La Bahia is going to be a tough nut to crack. They're on the top of this roof line, and they get the kills they need.
Got him. Let's see. They are going to have the numbers advantage. LB swapping on over to the shotgun, trying to get that nice pump. Groza in hand. I think it's going to come down to this, and yes, the classic booyah right there.
That's a big booyah for Fuego. That is
booyah.
They absolutely needed that. That is I'm trying to look and
Huge.
see where they were sitting going into this. I mean, this is a game we were talking about it going before this. Fuego had a fantastic day 1, but so far here in day 2, they've been getting nickeled and dimed early game. They haven't been able to keep 4 up into the late game at all. But this time, in one of the hardest situations to keep 4 up, playing in those city circles where, I mean, just hard shift after hard shift after hard shift. Absolutely brutal stuff there, Dave. And Fuego comes out on top.
They cash in those nickel and dimes for some dollar bills right there that game. Some nice points that game with the booyah. So booyah gets you 12 points for the placement points plus whatever kill points they were able to acquire that game. And Fuego, early game, slow and steady, right? Mid game, even, more chill, just relaxing. But then the late game, they popped up. They kept getting hard shifted on. But honestly, I think their ability to keep their team alive, they use their numbers to their advantage towards that late game where we saw everybody else, they had a solo, they had a duo, maybe even a trio. So Fuego really waiting for the end here to show up, pop out, and for a good reason, because we can see right there 19 points to add to what you said. They needed it, right? They needed this game. That
Absolutely.
comeback mechanic, they just acquired it. So this is going to put them right up there at the top like everybody expected them to be.
Hell of a good look for Fuego. And I mean, I think they showed a great deal of patience as well. The biggest fight I think that they had early game was that trying to find Northblood. I mean, Northblood was able to make a rotation to get inside the circle, managed to keep all four up, and that was huge for them. But unfortunately, then we had the extreme hard shift going to that northwest, and Fuego, instead of immediately sending it, they knew that they had to deal with Northblood. They couldn't just start playing the rest of the game out with knowing that MB was going to be on their backside, so they had to wait and had to clean them up. They managed to do so and keep four up at the same time, which is absolutely huge. Set them up perfectly for that late game. But again, Dave, La Bahia,
Yeah,
La Bahia, second place.
up there.
They can't do worse. If they're not in first, they're in second. These guys are nuts.
Consistency, like that's all you need here. That is all they need, just consistent points every single game. Should be able to keep up there at the top, within that top 8 actually, to make sure to qualify to those grand finals. Kind of punch that ticket right to that lobby where it's going to be 18 games with a $50,000 cash prize for the NA, the NA champs, of course, at the end of the day. And they're trying to avoid that last chance qualifier that is going to be 12 games. That's not where you want to find yourself here. And, well, green means good, red means bad. Wasaka, High Religion, green, baby. Ozark, once again, 2 games back-to-back. Not much to show for, and we're watching them kind of slide down right now.
Yeah, Purgatory has not been a very good place for Ozark here today. But fortunately for them, for the final 2 games, we are moving over to Bermuda. So we'll see what Ozark has in store for that map, as a little bit smaller, a little bit more high speed, a lot of more fighting going on. But, Purgatory, kind of the same deal, really. And Ozark suffering a little bit there. I think their early game, it seems like they're either taking a little bit longer to get their looting done, but both times now, I mean, they've been taken advantage of by a team that just starts rotating down into them, gets the high ground, and gets some free kills just right off the bat. So, in game 3, it was La Bahia. In this last game, it was High Religion, I believe.
Yeah, and Bermuda, kind of that OG map, right? That tried and true classic map that most of these players will have most of their game time on. And I know Shipyard can be one of those spots, like that hot spot that everybody likes to drop, get real sweaty here. And I kind of like that Bermuda we have at the end of the day, because for me, a lot of times the end of the day is where players are just like, okay, let's go. I'm ready. I'm warmed up, and it gets real sweaty because they are warmed up, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe some teams drop Shipyard. I would like to see it. But we hear the sounds, Poro. We see the yellow. We're ready to go. Game number 5. Players are getting locked up, ready to go. Let's get into the slight delay, because I gotta ask you a question. Hey, I got you right there. I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah, we go.
Poro.
Okay, what you got?
I gotta ask you a question. Syndicate.
Yes.
Last game, I think, was their best game yet, but they're still dead last. So, like,
it's been rough,
you've been here. You've been here for a while, covering the Free Fire. Syndicate, any kind of tips, Poro, tips and tricks? Like, what would this team have to do to really make a comeback? Like, anything, Poro. What do you got?
Look, hey, they did. I like what they did last game. They didn't get involved in any hot drops. They didn't get involved in any early action. They took their time. They looted up. They played. They kind of slowed the game down a little bit. And in the end, it was an unfortunate city ending. The city endings, anything can happen. It gets wild in there. It gets crazy. Syndicate was not able to come out on top of that. I think it was who was it that they ran into? I believe it was it High Religion?
It was at the end. Yeah, High Religion. Yeah. High Religion, and then High Religion ran into C7.
Yeah, they were just kind of running through everybody. So it was unfortunate for Syndicate in that. But I think that their overall game plan for that game was exactly what they need to do. Just try to take it slow in the early game. You know, don't get involved in any of these early fights. If you see something that you think you might be able to third party, fantastic. Set up for it. Try to go for it. Much like we saw. Who was it that did the camp onto OG that last game? Can't even remember who it was now. It was weeks ago. I tell you,
weeks ago. OG Papa Poro out here.
Yep.
Honestly, we're still talking Syndicate here. I appreciate your take, Poro, and I respect it. But if I had to be like the coach to tell him what to do,
I'm going to chase, aren't you?
I'm going to tell him this. Everybody get a hand cannon. You know, hand cannons, they launch little small grenades. I need everybody on the team to get a hand cannon, all right? I need to make sure we got them launch pads, number one.
Okay.
And what we're going to do, we're going to be launching all over the map, just pow, 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 throwing our little hand cannon grenades at everybody. And hope that some of them will land, and hope that we can get some of these kill points, because that is exactly what they need here. Yeah, last game was good. Trust me, I agree with you. It was good, but it wasn't good enough.
Yeah. I mean, 3 kills in 4 games. It's just not, it's just not. That's not going to do it. Not when you're trying to make sure that you. I mean, at this point, they just got to make sure that they get top 20, right? They want to make sure that they can at least get into that last chance qualifier. I mean, C7, Syndicate, OG Street, TM Dominican. This is getting down to brass tacks here. I mean, they've still got one more day to play, right? But you don't want to have to put all your eggs in that basket of the last day, trying to clutch that out. You would like to be a little bit more comfortable than that, I would think.
One would assume, right? One would assume, but at the end of the day, it's been getting sweaty out here, man. It has been getting sweaty. Sweaty, Mom Spaghetti, Minetti, right? Kalahari, Calamari. We could throw it all out there. But at the end of the day, if you are at the bottom, you need to do something, right? Like, that's just the facts of the matter. You need to do something. I'm kind of joking about the hand cannon, but at the same time, whatever they've been doing, it's not enough. So maybe I'm not joking about the hand cannon. We don't know. But what we do know is that they need a lot of points.
Yeah, and hey, again, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties right now, guys. Just bear with us. We're getting into our final 2 games. Everybody's kind of setting themselves up here, but you can see average placement for all of these squads: Northblood, La Bahia, Fuego, C7, High Religion, all at the top there. But I mean, what a cutoff there, a drop off really from 1 and 2. I mean, Northblood and La Bahia are just playing out of their minds right now. They are finding the late game so easily.
Making it look good, man. Making it look good. I'm trying to look real quick at the stats. We are heading to Bermuda, if I'm not mistaken. One of the teams that I kind of pointed out early today, TM Dominican, right? They were at the bottom. We talked about how they really need to pull out that clutch card here. Bermuda, they got 0 kills. I know they only played 2 of the maps so far. But 0 kills? Oh, man. 2 more games to go. And I'm not being hard on these
Street's
teams.
only got 1 kill today.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be hard on these teams, but at the same time, like, I want them to succeed, right? I want them to show up here tonight. And I'm trying to stress that because we are kind of seeing those teams at the top every single game finish strong, finish consistent, and they're kind of soaking up those points, right? So talking about soaking up these points, I'm going to soak up some liquid. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, we got about 5 minutes. So you go soak up some liquid. Go get your snacks. We got 2 more games to go. We'll be right back.
Getting into this game. Bermuda, game 5 of 6 starts now.
Bermuda, baby. Groups A versus Groups D. Day number 4. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mustache Day, Poor Source, NA, bringing you the action. And shout out to all the observers out there, all the team running this. It's been a pretty exciting day so far, but we're not done. We got 2 more games to go. I was calling for some hot drop action here. I was talking about sweaty spaghetti Manetti.
You
I'm
chose
hoping
violence.
I get it here, Poro. I'm hoping I get it, man.
No, you probably will too. You probably will. Look at
I better.
You had Syndicate. Looks like they might be by themselves. Okay, they're going to be by themselves. But look at this, MB and La Bahia, the 2 teams that probably don't need the fight because they got nothing else to lose. Actually, why not? Look, get in there. Blester going to hide behind. All he's got is a fist. and a dream. And Domido's got bullets, and bullets beat fist every time. As Esteban gets spotted out by Abreu, will drop that chrono, the time wall. And who's going to finish out here? Looks like La Bahia is going to go ahead, and they're going to keep all four up.
So Blester not having the One Punch Man skin right there with the fist out, totally throwing right there. If
True.
Blester wanted any chance to win in that fight, man versus gun, you need the One Punch Man. As Esteban, going to be another one of the squad mates from North Blood. Well, on the chopping blocks right now of LB.
It looks like Boss, the only one to make it out alive for NB. And it looks like he should be pretty safe for now, I think. At least he's got some guns to defend himself should La Bahia get on the hunt here. But look how close he's getting to Wasaka. I don't think Wasaka's looking over in this direction, but Boss better keep it moving here.
Moving and grooving. Wasaka, very interesting split that this team has been implementing here tonight. The first two games we saw him drop center, playing that four corners role for the most part, but in the last couple matches they dropped 3-1 with Camatron kind of out there on their own, doing their own little scouting, their own little looting, and if they need to, they group up with the trio from the squad who normally hold down a nice little power position for them. So Wasaka has been a team, and I'm going to keep talking about him, Poro, because this has been a team that has definitely caught my attention here today, and hopefully yours as well.
For sure. Yeah, no, they. I think Wasaka looked very good in the first couple of games. They did a lot of work with that center of the map drop location. That's slowed down a little bit since then, but again, not looking too terrible. As we see OG Street spot out Fuego. Have they spotted out Grid here? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Calvin knows he's there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they know.
Josh
they
knows.
know. Look at them there, all set up here as the rock starting to creep up and get a little bit closer. They're waiting for their last guy to get in. It's going to be Yandel, but he's going to get spotted out by Josh where a few shots come through. Doesn't get the knock.
Pretty sick dragon backpack too. Oh, High Religion though. Looks like they're going to be getting pushed on from TBT out here in the open,
where are you
pushing
going?
up the hill. It said see you later. Oh, is that a grenade getting tossed over here? Yep, going to be chunking down, getting some damage right here. But HR, how are they able to continue to come out on top? Like, I felt like they were at the disadvantage at the beginning of this fight.
I mean, I'm not sure what happened, if there was just a little bit of miscommunication on the part of Team Butcher there, but Clayton just runs out in the middle of the open with no support whatsoever and gets immediately capped. The rest of his team not even anywhere close to him to support, and there you go. Fuego gonna clean up OG Street as OG Street's day just goes from bad to worse.
Oh, what's happening here? Some partying out here. Clown Fiesta. Oh, we showed up late to the party, but
yeah, High Religion just cleaning up whatever's left of Team Butcher. Yeah, I mean, OG Street, Team Butcher
dead.
Instantly out, and North Blood down to just Boss. So the early game fighting on Bermuda has been hot and hectic, and the rich just kind of keep getting richer here.
Yeah, well, we might have another fight, another clash up here. Syndicate, CDM, Stepdad, bat in hand. Nothing but determination here, as they're going to be looking out there in the distance, trying to gather as much intel as possible. Going to be starting to see some shots ring out, but looks like it is kind of a standstill for the time being. Just depends who gets the first trade, and wow, there we go. First knock coming on out to Syndicate.
Yeah, Kakashi, both Kakashi and Stepdad extremely low. I mean, they're basically one shot, and there goes Hero. He was one shot as well. Karama just doing work from range here. The Time Turner going to keep them alive for the time being, but you can see how busted they are right now, Syndicate, as looks like Dominic going to try to reposition himself for
right behind
backwards flank. Sus going to be the one keeping things, keeping them from pushing here, but this is not a good position for Syndicate.
And honestly, yeah, not a good position, but TDM, I feel like they lost their window of opportunity. We saw Syndicate, they were really low, they were hurt, they were grouped up, backs against the wall, and TDM, look how spread they still are. Like, they haven't really been taking advantage of the situation yet.
See, Karama, I mean, he was in perfect position, maybe get some grenade, but no grenades in pocket for him as LEs are going to try to take the long-range shots. Karama just waiting right here. He's got the Tommy gun ready to go, and he's going to open up. Stepdad's gone down. Heroes in one shot. He's going to go down as well. I think Sus might be the last one up. Has he been taken out? Yep, he's been taken out as well. So Syndicate gets cleaned up.
Very fortunate for TDM, not gonna lie, that they came out on top, because they were letting Syndicate just have a lot of time to continue to come up with a game plan to defend themselves when I felt like they were dead to rights. So I'm happy that TDM did come out on top. I'm happy that they did win that. But honestly, it took a lot of time. And if that was any other team, if that was Ozark, if that was NB maybe that they were fighting early game like that, I have to assume all that time that they gave that enemy that had their backs against the wall would have definitely bit them in the butt. So TDM, hopefully next time they learn from that fight. They play a little faster, collapse a little faster, work a little better together, in my opinion, to try to seal the deal. But they did win, so I can't hate them too much.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking big picture though, Poro.
Sure. And you know, Team Dominican, you got to see the day that they've been having so far today. I mean, they had a perfect position there to pick up some kills, and maybe just being a little bit more careful about it, just because they want to make sure that they keep all four up, that they get all the points that they can get, and in the end they do. And you know, we did see that they were a little bit light on loot as far as glue walls and throwables were concerned. So most of the work was going to have to get done with those guns. So maybe a little bit slower on their part here. C7 just kind of hanging out on the top of this mountain. I don't even think they're aware that Wasaka's pushing up, but they are now as Navy gets knocked down to half HP.
Got that M60 too, man. That thing is just locked and loaded, ready to go spraying. And Wasaka, well, they were on that kind of that great wall out there. They were able to use it to get a nice little position right behind C7, but
yeah, they're pulling off.
C7 were able to recognize that push and pretty much cut the head off the snake right there and stop that surprise flank from Wasaka.
Yeah, smart play here by Wasaka. I mean, they realize if they could have gotten the opening knock and kind of opened the door for themselves there, it doesn't matter what team is up here, no matter how high or low they are on the leaderboard. That is a very, very difficult push for Wasaka to try to pull off, and so they didn't get that knock. They instead decided to pull back and just kind of wrap around on the north side, leave C7 alone for the time being. FGO, meanwhile, they got anybody near them? No, they are just kind of hanging out in the plantation.
Big chilling right now, chilling hard. And I think the only teams that might get into any type of action here has to be Wasaka, as we see them now trying to avoid the silence from C7, wrapping all the way around. Next zone goes up too, so it's going to apply a little more pressure to both C7 and Wasaka on their, I guess, push, right? Their approach out here on this east side.
Yeah, see, you can see, I think Ricky was kind of making his way off to the north for C7 just to make sure that Wasaka didn't try to wrap on him any closer than they did. So they keep an eye on where those guys are, and they'll separate for the time being. Meanwhile, High Religion on the move. They're going to get inside the zone on this southeastern side. They do have La Bahia just off to their north. You can see on your mini map that blue 2 is going to be La Bahia. So no shots coming through just yet, but keeping an eye on this over here. You can see Wasaka now has the high ground over C7. So the tables have turned.
Let's see what's going to happen here. So I feel like it's a matter of time, right, before these two teams get into a fight. But I'm kind of surprised.
Like they want it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Wasaka, they're doing a really good job at separating themselves from C7, and that's interesting because looking at Wasaka, at least the past couple games, I feel like they're a really aggressive team, and they thrive on that action, those team fights, that synergy. But they don't want that here. They don't want that smoke right now.
They don't want the smoke. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I mean, the first two games where we saw Wasaka have a lot of success, they were obviously dropping dead center, and they had the high ground, the refiner. They're kind of doing a little bit of tower defense. The last 2 games when they've had to kind of go on the hunt hadn't really gone as well for them. So maybe this is just a gut response, and that they don't want to really get involved in. And to be fair, they're outside of circle too, right? So any fights that they get into out here would have to resolve themselves pretty quickly, and it, you know, there was no real chance they were going to be able to take care of C7 that fast. So they just decided to wrap around all the way to the north. So we'll see how that works out for them, as they're going to hide under the bridge as the danger zone is directly overhead. But you can see Fuego just off in the distance.
Yeah, danger zone, man. It's let them have it for sure. So that's gonna be the end of the danger zone, and Fuego, they are set up. They are ready to go, and I don't know if they're peeking these windows. So Wasaka, they might not have a clue, and I think if Fuego can wait it out, buy some time, and let them get right in their backyard, they could set the trap and really capitalize on it here.
Yeah, I think Joshua caught vision right there. As you can see, they're already going for the reposition. They may have sniffed this out, this move in from Wasaka. So Fuego instead going to go ahead and pull back into one compound to defend this by themselves. It looks like they spotted out Wasaka. The grenade come through. It's not going to find anything, as the grenade will bounce off of that beautifully placed dome. Grenade's going to miss getting into that second floor. So Throwable's fight has been put on pause, as Wasaka will pull back again, just avoiding this fight for right now.
Yeah, and I think this is because the next zone did go up, so they realized, hey, we don't really need to take this fight. We don't need to flush them out. We can kind of be neighbors for the time being. It's, you know, almost Thanksgiving. We got to share the apple pie and the ham out here, so that might be what they're doing. The thing is, though, this neighborhood is not big enough for 3 teams, and TDM kind of out there on that west side, also in the neighborhood. They might be looking for one of these compounds to call home.
Yeah, got a few teams working their way in on the north. You can see C7 off in the distance as well. Ozark already posted up just off to the south. And meanwhile, off to the south of the circle, you've got La Bahia starting to make a rotation into Dual Kings. They've got High Religion right behind them as well. So a lot of teams on the move, getting real close to each other, but no fights breaking out just yet. But it looks like that's going to end here.
Yeah, LB out here taking some shots from DK Dual Kings. Gomez out there. Ooh, able to get behind that wall, get that heal up. And honestly, this is some long-range battles happening right here. Nobody really wants to get up close and personal, because there is a nice chunk of terrain in between both these teams.
Yeah, Abreu getting the opening knock, but it looks like Dual Kings will be able to get that res back down. They're going to continue using the glue walls to move a little closer. They're going to find another knock on a Marcos. That's going to force Dual Kings to stop yet again. They do get the res. Now Wasito has gone down, as La Bahia just keeps finding the angles in between the glue walls to get the damage down, get the knocks off, as Marcos still has not had a chance to heal. And this is wrapping so far north that they're going to run right into TDM here soon, as La Bahia is just rolling through.
Yeah, and I think Dual Kings realizing that they're getting slowly pushed towards another team, and they were stuck, right? They had their backs against the wall. They had to defend, and we saw what happened there. Most of them, yep, all of them actually just got picked apart on that retreat. But talk about the pressure from LB right there. They were applying the pressure. Next zone goes up, by the way. Ozark in it. In the zone, have a nice compound. HR, they got at least a duo, maybe even a trio down there towards the south. But I'm really liking C7's position on the zone, because they might be able to just third-party city what we're looking at right now. We got Wasaka and both Fuego all trying to rotate on this east side, push into the new zone. But they're going to be walking right into C7 eventually.
Camatron with the big knock there, as Axel will try to go for the res, get him back up. You can see he's got that grenade launcher in hand, trying to do some damage as the push comes through from Fuego. They don't have time to sit around and wait for this, as they know they've got to continue this wrap. They got to get inside that circle. They've got the chrono walls down, the glue walls are down. They're going to protect the boys for the time being. Wasaka trying to stay alive, trying to get those reses back up, but it's not going to be enough. Joshua has gone down. Jeremy is low. Calvin's now down, as FGO continue their push. Sokka, who's left? Look at this C7, as you mentioned. You called it, Dave. Perfect position to third party here, and Naby going to be the one that finishes off Josh Ever. Axel and Jeremy getting damaged by the zone. Quadra kill for Jeremy, but C7 cleans it up.
Yeah, C7 all day, and look at that, Poro. Both those teams done, gone, dusted right there on that push, on the edge, just unlucky. But talk about being lucky. Ozark, bam, right there in the middle of this new zone. Like, blessed all day, and this is exactly what they needed. Their last 2 games, they haven't been showing up. They have been sliding down the leaderboards. Let's see if they can capitalize on this clear advantage here this game with this new zone.
You got to be watching all their sides, though, and C7 trying to make the push here. They're using the glue walls. The Navy gets down, gets close. You can see Ricky already has grenade in hand, ready to try to get some knocks. Navy gonna push up right to the wall as Ozark trying to hold it off, but they have to pull back down. C7 will lose a couple. That's gonna actually open up the door here for La Bahia to start making pushes. High Religion gonna make a push as well. Ozark leaves their compound to push out, and they clean up C7, but they've got to reset quickly because High Religion and La Bahia starting to push.
Clean up on aisle 5 right there, and hopefully they can pull back into the safety and comfort of the compounds, get behind some type of cover, reset, get the heal, because you called it. LB looking to make that collapse, looking to make that push, but also from behind, High Religion. So 2 teams, and not only that, you got Yard in the bush. Who is that? That's the bush, opening up the shots on the danger.
Bushman comes through. Yard gets the initial knock, but he takes a lot of damage in return. Hero trying to heal up a little bit before having to push forward. He's right on the edge. La Bahia, they still have some cover to work with. Oh, the Chrono Walls.
Wow.
Coming up just in the nick of time as the grenades come through, and Cryox will find Supporte. They'll get the knock and the flush. Meanwhile, Ozark still 4 up, still trying to deal with Yard, who is the only member of High Religion to be able to push up close, but we've seen the damage that a solo player can do in this situation. They do find him. Hiru now the last one up, but La Bahia is right up in it. Glows and Abreu trying to work between the walls to see what they can find. Ozark staying alive. They're down to 2 as well. Juanpi and Flacco. It's a 2v1v1. They're going to be eating a lot of damage, though. They're stuck. They're stuck inside the zone, Dave. It's a 1v1. Hero clean, but they win. Flacco just heals through the blue. Unbelievable.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Was that
wow.
the first booyah we've seen from Hand of Healing? Right there. The heal strat.
I thought it was done. I thought that they made a last minute mistake. They trapped themselves inside the house as the zone was right on top of them, and I thought that was going to be it. And no, at the very end, the damage that the last 2 players were able to do to each other, even though one player did win that 1v1, he was knocked to about 10 HP, and 1 tick of the zone takes him down, and they end up getting the win. Unbelievable stuff. And wow.
So quick right there. Yeah, what great age. Regardless, top 3 right there. High Religion, LB, Ozark. Like, gee, that was something else. Not only that, C7 towards the end, they had a really nice spot to gatekeep with Sokka that we saw there, and they were able to capitalize, get only 3 kill points, which is actually kind of surprising. But who was that? Was that LB? Very end, it happened so quickly. I think they had 2, not 1, but 2 of the Corona force fields, right? Was that LB? And they they were getting naded, about 3 grenades, and we saw exactly how strong that time turner move is. Like, that shield was just so strong because those grenades, they were on point. They were money all day. Like, they were landing right on top of them. But if it wasn't for those shields, they would have been dead a lot earlier on. But instead, they were able to survive because of that ability, and they were able to get 11 kill points that game.
I mean, just crazy stuff from La Bahia. Ozark, we kept saying, I mean, they got blessed by the compound, but it's a blessing and a curse because you're getting pushed from every single angle. And, as a result, you're not able to focus the entire energy of your team in one direction or all their guns in one direction. Instead, you've got to watch, you got two guys watching south, you got two guys watching, or one guy watching north, one guy watching west, and as a result, it allowed La Bahia to make their way down that hill. It allowed C7 to make their way up the hill from the river to get really close. High Religion was able to get one guy right up on top of the building as well, and I mean, it just went to show. I mean, Ozark had obviously a great position, but man, it is really tough to hold that thing.
And we saw at the end, they got pushed right from two different sides. So what a game. Ozark right there. I'm gonna say they had 5 teammates. They had the squad and then the compound. No. They had the squad and the zones, right? Because they had they had like 2 zones just pop right on top of them right there at the end. But like you said, they had to defend it, right? It wasn't like, oh, they just got lucky. Oh, look at them. No, they had to defend it. They got pushed from multiple sides, and it came down to that heel-off at the very end, and they came out on top, Poro.
Crazy stuff there in game number 5. Can't wait to see what game number 6 brings us as everybody's just kind of getting back into that lobby, getting ready to go for the final one of the day. We can see our overall leaderboard where everybody's sitting. Not surprisingly, La Bahia back at the top. I mean, they've just consistently been at the top of the leaderboard, getting placements, getting kills, 32 kills on the day. I mean, they're obviously in the lead. North Blood having a good day as well. Ozark with that win hops up into the top 3. High Religion, for the fact that they haven't gotten a booyah, they've got 57 points on the day, Dave.
Booyah! So listen, we got one more game to go, Poro.
Yeah,
one more game. Like, they have a chance. They have a chance to get a booyah on the board and finish strong here today. If they get a booyah on the board, that's 12 points. And say Ozark kind of slipped down a little more, I could see it. I could see him. I could see him even getting that second place maybe on North Blood, because we are heading into that last game. North Blood feeling a little loose here. We can see them. They got the red mark next to their name, so they did slide down just a little bit. But
out of first.
I feel like a little bit. But we've been seeing High Religion at least a couple past 2 games, right?
Sure.
Like, they've been getting involved here. They've been getting into the thick of it.
Yeah, they've been looking good. And look, overall, they've gotten 57 points today. Overall, they're sitting on 99, which is putting them in 11th place. Now, if they're going for that top 8, obviously everybody trying to get that top 8, trying to get that pass to the grand finals without having to play in the LCQ. Right now, the cutoff is 110 points at 8th place total. So High Religion real close. As you said, if they can get one more good game, they could put themselves in that top 8 and set themselves up really nicely for this last weekend.
Now's the time, baby. Now's the time. One more Bermuda, the OG map. And I was thinking, I think because we are on Bermuda, we saw a lot more like 200 IQ, just big brain rotations with teams avoiding these fights that would put them at the disadvantage, right? At least compared to the other 2 maps, right? We didn't see this many kind of avoidance rotations, and I think it comes down to the fact that all these players are just ultra aware of the terrain. They know every single dip, they know every single compound, and they know the angles just because it is the OG map here of Free Fire.
Yeah, I mean, if they find themselves in a bad position, then they know not only do they know they're in a bad position instantly, they also know the best way to get on out of there. And we saw that with Sokka earlier. I mean, they caught C7 at the top of a mountain. They were just like, you know what, we don't need to take this fight, so let's just go ahead and wrap the long way around. They come in from the north. They end up getting a few more points. They had a good day so far today with Sokka. 44 points on the day. I know that's a team that you were looking for after the first 2 games where they kind of landed in the center of the map, but we've seen them have to rotate a little bit more, and they're doing a good job of picking the fights that are favorable to them for the most part. It does seem like that whenever somebody kind of takes the fight to them, or if they get third party, then they have a little less luck with that. But I mean, that's most teams, isn't it?
Yeah, and not only these teams trying to get that top 8, I think they're also using this lobby because it is a high competitive skill ceiling lobby compared to maybe other scrims, maybe just pub matches. Like, this is the best lobby that these teams could really develop their skills, like hone it in, right? And get that firsthand experience here. So like you said, Wasaka, under the pressure, they've been folding a little bit, but at the same time, they need to experience that pressure in order to become a better team. And we're kind of watching them here in front of our eyes develop and just become better.
Yeah, and it's improvement, right? That's what all you want to see is at the very, very least is you want to see improvement from your first day to your second day, and they've got that. They've definitely done better today than they did in day one. They've managed to pick up 12 more points than they did, and so they're getting ready. They've got one more game to try to collect a few more off of this as we are heading into our final game of the day, game number 6 on Bermuda.
Bermuda. By the way, we were told that there's 100% of sound for that.
But I like our sound.
We're added to it. Yeah, we need to get the Poro. What'd you say? You need to get that air horn on your sound deck.
Yeah, we get the air horn on the sound bar. Sure.
We need it. We need it.
Oh, it's gonna happen. We're gonna have it ready for next time. I'm gonna prepare for next time.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what a night. What a night. Game number 6. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to the players. And shout out to you, Poro. I appreciate you right here. It's my first night out here. And, well, you laid out the welcome mat. So thank you.
Absolutely, buddy. It's good to be working back together again. We'll see if High Religion, we were talking about them, one more good game could put them in a top 8 position here going into the last weekend. We'll see if they can take care of C7. Who they've had a decent day for themselves so far as well. They are much better than their first day, but unfortunately for them, their first day was real bad. So we see another hot drop fight here going on as Wasaka gonna square up with OG.
Okay, P90 looking to hunt down the enemies. Looks like they're going to be spraying down the hill here. And, oh, they forgot about the rock behind them. The rock could possibly get some backstab going here, as it looks like the entirety of the squad with Saka are out here in the fields chasing down a rabbit, losing sight that there might be somebody behind them.
Can't forget about the rock, man. You can never forget about the rock. Let's see, Camacho, are you actually going to go down the zip line? No, he's going to run on past, as the rock is just going to hide out in this building. He's got a micro Uzi ready to go. This could be danger town for Wasaka if they're not careful. The rock could actually.
Oh, rock.
Oh
Got him. For a second there, I was like, the rock? What you doing?
That is just the last thing that you want to happen, man. You got that free kill off the hot drop, and now all of a sudden you lose one. He gets flushed. Now Camatro's going to take some big damage. He does some damage back to the rock. They're going to push it as 2. The glue wall is down. They can't really do much about it. Nice grenade going to go over the top of the rock's already on the move. He's proven to be a slippery character here.
He's gone. Man, okay, so let's see. Will the Rock get another one-tap dirt nap out here? Another point underneath their belt. He is going to be definitely separating himself from Wasaka. But they said, nah, you took out my teammate. Not like this. Give it to the Rock, though. That glue wall, that was huge. Like, it bought him a lot of time to jump out that window and try to make a play happen.
It sure did. He gave him everything they could handle here. As now we see La Bahia and Ozark squaring off as Glows is taking a little bit of damage, but you see Demitos sending the shots back over towards Ozark. They do get that knock, and here comes the push. La Bahia not wasting any time, getting right into grenade range to do some damage. Achilles is going to go down to the well-placed grenade, and now Ozark's falling apart, but Flacco, wouldn't you know it, Flacco is going to be on point with the shots.
Man, so many early fights right now. So these players are just thirsty. Last game of the evening.
Game 6, man.
Game 6. They are feeling it here. And Ozark, once again, just getting the bad end of the stick, I guess you could say. They are going to be here in the zone, but I don't know. Flacco in the guard tower position, compromise. He's got 2 players out here with snipers. Car 98 looking right on their head, looking to get that little sight line right on their eyeball and take them out. And now here comes the entirety of the squad looking to make this push with the glue walls. And, well, we can see Flacco up there in the guard tower just stuck like Chuck.
Yeah, it's a tough push to make, but they're going to keep on going here as they got the shotty in hand. Flacco going to try to hand his way to victory, but it's not going to be enough. The shotty just too strong, and that's going to do it for Flacco. Ozark does keep Danger alive, though, so they are not out of it yet.
What is Ricky doing? What's Ricky doing? Oh, that's
surviving.
What Ricky's doing. Surviving. Okay, so before all that action happened, I recall you saying the High Religion were hot dropped on. Or not hot dropped, but C7 were definitely making the push onto Mars Electric. And it looks like HR, High Religion, were able to defend it and take out 2 the members from C7. And now C7, the duo, they are just completely separated on the shorelines of the beach all the way down there in the south, just trying to survive. So High Religion, we talked about it on the break. They're looking for their first booyah. This might be it, Poro.
Yep, having a great day so far today, and things are looking pretty good for game number 6. Let's see if C7, you can see Ricky and Navy going to try to get back together here, but they're going to have to make a little rotation away from Mars just to make sure they stay alive for right now. The zone has cut off to the north. You can see NB starting to make a wrap off to the north. They've got Danger right behind them. In name and in actual danger. They got Danger in front of them as well, because TDM is kind of waiting for them off to the north side. So we'll see what MB decides to do here. They were looking real strong early on in the day. They've kind of fallen off a little bit here as of late, but maybe they can spot this man's out.
Oh, they got Esteban in the back lines here. Yeah, very sneaky. I thought Danger was definitely out of the trouble here, but I guess not.
Good eyes coming through from NB. As that could have been very, very scary as the vultures descend.
The vultures, dude. Did he even have anything like?
I don't think if he had anything, it probably wasn't a whole lot, as he was on the run from the very jump. As we check in with the Butchers, EBT looks like they spotted out La Bahia. See if the shots come through. It's a dead center of the circle as well, so they've got plenty of time to set themselves up for this one.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, man, with a name like the Butchers, I would have expected a lot more here tonight. So hopefully in this last game, LB is a huge team too. Like if the Butchers can get a knock and maybe flush out one and make the push on an LB, then I'll put some of that respect on their name, on the Butchers out here. And, well, they're going to be dead center. We'll get back to that, though, because TMD on NB.
Oh, Blazer got the rest of his squad has now joined him. He starts off getting some big damage into Blazer, but not getting the knock here. Is TDM going to lay down the chronos? The time turners are going to lay down the glue walls. They're going to try to reposition around this as they, in a straight up 4v4, there you get the nice overhead view as see in the kill feed more fighting going on between TBT and La Bahia. As this one's still playing out, Karama gets knocked very low. Elise are going to go down. And now look at the angle from Frieza. It's off on the side. Will get spotted and will go down, but now it's all of a sudden down to Domini, who's just playing the survival game. NB cleaning up.
Yeah, the MP40 up close, the high rate of fire right there, that machine gun, really strong. And we see it right here as well. Everybody just with those MP40s out, locked and loaded, and for good reason, because it just sprays. And up close and personal, you have to assume a lot of these shots are going to be connecting as the bush. Where is he? He's just a bush. No one sees him. Where'd he go? There he is! Surprise! The bush,
playing the bush so well. Cryok's the last one up here for La Bahia.
No,
he's gonna try to make the push. The bush is right about him.
No way! The bush!
The Bushman comes through, and I guess we got to put some respect on Team Butcher's name now.
No. I put respect on the bush right there. All right. How is there a bush? Okay, I'm in the game. There's a bush between 3 glue walls. Not sus at all. Like, no. Damn, the bush. 3 kills. Talk about clutch here, Poro. Oh, look at them stats, by the way.
Look at the stats.
Bush's stats. Look at the damage. 4 kills. Oh, man. Big respect, Poro.
1370 damage, 4 kills. Put some respect on that man's name. Clay and staying alive for TBT towards the center of the map. And to be fair, I mean, there's only 5 teams left that still have all 4 guys up. I mean, these guys have been scrapping from the word go here in game number 6, and it looks like that's not ending anytime soon, as High Religion going to roll right into Wasaka.
For some reason, I want the bush to get this booyah. Not gonna lie. If the bush can come out on top, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him more energy. Let's give the bush our energy. But like you said,
Bushman's all the energy.
Bushman, give him all the energy. High Religion, though, another team that we're kind of looking forward to.
Grenades.
Oh, Yard connected on. This is Wasaka. They're throwing out those glue walls. They're making the push now. Surprise! And then they're gonna be popping down the time turner to provide the shield here to block the damage. And now they got their shotguns locked and loaded as they are going to be on the hunt down to take out HR.
Oh! It was a 2v2, and High Religion keeps it alive. Hiru will be rezzed. They only lose 1, but they kited that fight beautifully.
Wow. Are they going to – did they lose just Yard out the mix?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
They lost him off of the initial grenade and the follow-up grenade, and that was just such a good job of kiting. Holy moly, that was really well played.
And I think that goes back to the topic that we were talking about in the pre-show, that we're kind of watching these teams develop too and just become better with the experience that they're able to acquire here in the Pro Series, in the group stage right now.
Yeah.
And that kite action, we haven't really seen that here tonight so far from High Religion. So you love to see it. Last game of the evening, yeah, they lost 1, but they got 4 points out the mix. That's a win.
Yeah, I mean, considering that they were, they were basically had a trap sprung on them. You lose a lot of times. You'll lose 1 early like that if you're not expecting it. So they were able to recover real nicely. Let's see what Fuego can do. They are in the dead center of the circle. You see team number 10. That's going to be NB just up the hill. Fuego looks like they're comfortable just kind of hanging out here and looking off in the distance and seeing if they get pushed anywhere.
Big chillin'. We've seen a lot of action here so far. We're about 12 minutes into the game, so you have to assume there's going to be a lot of open terrain too. But this is the last game, so we can't underestimate the willpower of these teams to want to take these fights, be ultra aggressive here in this game, and end off the night on a good note.
Yep, Northblood having a good day so far today. We'll see if they can finish off on a high note, as they do have 4 kills already in the bag, and they have the dead center of the circle as we check in with Domini, our final player remaining up from TDM. But he should be okay, as looks like he's got C7, he's got Dual Kings that are just ahead of him, so he is going to have to be careful. But it looks like C7 may have spotted out Dual Kings. They're taking shots.
By the way, the bush update, Clayon, still alive. We can see them on that dam out there to the east side by themselves. Probably still a bush, so nobody sees them. We'll keep you updated on the bush cam moving forward, but very important storyline to follow here.
It is absolutely. And as far as solos go, we also have the Yandel for OG Street that's off in the very northeastern part of the map, just on the edge of the circle. So we'll see if they can make their way in, as NB start to push off as a duo up to the north. They might run into Dual Kings here, and that might be NB getting caught off guard if they're not careful.
So NB, DK, and Fuego, the only 3 teams in the lobby with the entirety of their squad still alive. Besides that, a lot of solos, a duo, and a trio. So we'll see. NB looking to square off against DK. So these are those 2 teams with the entirety of the squad alive. Esteban trying to open this up. Some nice grenades. Provide that support to Boss in the front lines.
Oh, Boss trying to use that grenade launcher to great effect. Gets the knock on to Marcos, gets the flush as well. Camus has gone down now as Dual Kings down to just 2. Gomez and Peralta like working around the sides of that glue wall. They got the shotty out for Peralta, see what he can do. He's going to go down. Gomez is just going to try to escape at this point with his life, but NB not wanting to let him go. They're going to chase this man down. They spot him out. Shot come through, and he is done.
Got him. Got him. Okay. Good little fight, though, right here on the edge. And, well, North Blood, they are receiving some shots from Fuego across the way. Yeah, every time I say Fuego, definitely throws me off. But I'll get used to it. We'll see. So, Fuego, 4 up. North Blood, 4 up. The only 2 teams in the lobby with the whole team.
Yeah, we checked in with Yandel. You could see he was just locked outside of the circle as he has to make a move in. But look at this. Oh no, Bushman.
No push.
Problem for Yandel is he's in the zone. You could see that thing is doing some big damage, and Client's just going to sit here and wait for him to reveal himself. The wall's coming out. Good glue wall usage from Yandel, but it doesn't matter. Client will hit him with a grenade, and Bushman stays alive.
I think he went to hit a dance move, too, right there at the end. But we'll get back to that. NB on the high ground, looking to push, looking to collapse Fuego, who are in the mix of it. We see a bunch of glue walls blocking the sight lines, and now the time turner to provide some shield action. And that time turner was huge.
Huge stuff from Fuego there, able to clean up whatever was left of NB. NB, I mean, that's a fight that they wanted, and they took it right to them, but the damage done onto Fuego. They do lose Axel, but they're back up to 3 strong. High Religion still has 3 up as well. C7 still have 2, and then you've got the solos, Dominique from TDM and or TMD rather, Team Dominican, and Client are Bushmans from Team Butcher. He is hopped in the whip, and he is on the move, seeing if he can maybe take somebody out. He wants to take the fight with him, but C7 is not having any of it. They drop the time turner and immediately roast your boy, as High Religion now going to get involved.
Yeah, Bushman going out in a blaze of glory right there. 5th place, though, not bad. That will be 6 placement points, so pretty solid finish, all things considered. And now Dominique,
5 kills, too.
Last solo on the edge from TDM. We'll see what they can do over there, because High Religion, Poro, hey, late game. They're showing up. 4 teams to go. This might be that booyah.
Not too bad. They do lose Italo to Joshua real quick, but it looks like they should be able to get that res, and they will indeed do so. C7, I think here the fight going on, but they're going to try to wrap into it with the glue walls in hand. Meanwhile, Fuego, they've got 3 up, and they've got nothing but space and time. Nobody pushing them, nobody anywhere near them except for Domini, the solo snake from TDM. See if he can maybe influence the outcome of this battle. C7 going to have to run out into the blue, take some damage to try to come up on the backside of High Religion, as now Domini, it looks like he's been spotted out.
Domini is catching the attention of HR, like they're tunnel vision, and right behind him, Ricky looking to pull up, surprise them. Talk about the tunnel vision from High Religion onto Domini. They forgot about their backside.
What a backfill coming out from C7, is now Ricky going to try to get him again, and he does. Hiru will find Navy with a nicely placed grenade, and he'll actually find both of them. C7 decides to come in and strike at the perfect time, but look at this. Fuego just kind of taking their time, trying to finish this off. I guess Domini is keeping them locked down.
Domini is keeping everybody blocked down. Let's be real. This solo out here is just like garnering the attention of both teams here with the numbers advantage. You got High Religion. Looks like they were able to pop some heals. They are going to be behind this glue wall, but now Fuego with the numbers 3 up.
Still a lot of glue walls left in the bag for High Religion, as well as here's the push from Hiru and Italo. They've got the sword in hand, they got Shoddy in hand, and now Joshua has gone down. It's down to Domini as FGO gets eliminated. Domini going to try to survive. He's got a Shoddy in hand. Italo going to push. Domini gets him. Hiru versus Domino, and I don't know who wins it. I think it might have been Hiru. And I'm checking it. Yep, it's going to be High Religion.
Woo,
High Religion gets the win, but only barely, as Domini, the solo player, tries to make the magic happen.
Dominique, dude. Wow, this guy, this person almost clutching it out there for their squad mates at the end. Almost taking that booyah from HR. HR, though, Poro, High Religion. We called it. Hello? We said coming to that game, High Religion, they've been doing really well here. They've been ramping it up every single game. We talked about their consistency on that leaderboard, but we did say the only thing they're missing is a booyah. They heard us. They heard us loud and clear coming in this last match, getting that booyah in game number 6. So putting some respect on the HR High Religion name. But Dominique, my goodness, this player, whew, wow.
Look, man, game 6 gets wild. I don't care where you're from. But look at this team. Dominican, they snake their way to 0 kills and 9 points, though. And he almost clutched that out. Dominic doing everything he can for Dominican. He's got the team name in his own name. You can't spell Team Dominican without Dominic. And, he came down to the very, very end. But High Religion, as you said, I mean, they did everything today that they needed to do except get that booyah. And in the very final game, when things were the craziest, in game number 6, when people were flying off the handle, doing all types of weird stuff, High Religion comes through with the clutch.
And I agree. It was getting weird. And going back to getting weird, a Bush, right? A Bush getting 4 kills. That's as weird as it gets. And, well, we see Team Butcher, 5th place right there because of Mr. Bushman. So congrats to them to be able to kind of clutch it out here in this last and final match of the evening.
We'll see what the overall leaderboards are going to be looking like at the end of the day. And there you go. Remember, it is top 8 that gets the pass over to the grand finals. Now, we still have one more weekend left of group stage play. It's going to be next weekend. So one more day for these guys to try to collect as many points as they can, secure that top 8 spot. Failing that, to secure a top 20 spot, where teams 9 through 20 will be going to a last chance qualifier. Nobody wants to be 21 through 24, because if you are, that means your tournament is done. Right now, Death Academy, Syndicate, TM Dominican, OG Street, they've got work to do next weekend.
I want to say Syndicate giving up, throwing in the towel. They didn't play this last match either, so
yeah,
I don't know.
True.
Maybe get some confidence, drink that Michael juice, and they'll come back to their last games pumped up, ready to go. Nothing but confidence here, because they are going to need it. Now, C7, Wasaka, Ozark, those 3 teams, 14, 15, 16, not gonna lie, a little surprised they're down here. But today, they performed pretty well. So I can only assume if they would not have performed like they did today, they would be in that spot that you mentioned that you don't want to be, right? So congrats to them to really showing up here today. But High Religion, after that last game, that booyah, look where it put them, Poro. Right there, 8th place.
Right there, man. Right there, 8th place, 120 points, 10-point lead on Osaka. But again, I mean, looking down at this leaderboard, Dave, it is extremely close. It is really, really close. And, one good day of games could be all the difference in the world. And we've seen, all these teams that are kind of hanging out in the middle right now, we've seen them have really good performances before. So I would not be at all surprised to see them put together something special on the last weekend to try to make a run for that top 8 spot. But that being said, man, Lavahia.
Number 1, look at that point gap.
I mean, they're nuts.
I'm definitely not pulling out a calculator. I'm definitely not pulling out. So 43 points is first and second. So they can do whatever they want to do right now. They have full control of this lobby.
I mean, Lava clearly looking like the team to be. And the thing that's getting me about it is that it's not like they're doing anything insane either. They're not just running around trying to farm lobbies or anything. Like, they're playing smart Free Fire. Like, they're getting to the late game. They're keeping 4 up. They're playing good positional stuff, and they just win their fights. Like, I don't know what else to say.
They're not coming in these games like flexing their dominance. They're just casually flexing. It's like, you got a nice new pair of shoes, looking fancy, but you're not showing off the shoes. You're not going in front of people. Oh, look at this. No, people are like, look at them shoes. That's what they're doing. Like they're nosing
Look at
them
shoes.
because it's so casual. Yeah, and they're making it look good. Look at them shoes. Look at them kill points though. 97 kill points. So,
Jeez.
wow. Not only are they getting the booyahs here, they're getting the kills as well. They're soaking up a lot of points at the top.
That's nuts, man. Almost 100 kills in 12 games. I mean, that is just that is something special right there. Well, you see overall booyahs right now, Club 9D still in the lead as far as that goes, but La Bahia right behind them with 3, Northblood with 3 of their own. And you know, I gotta say, La Bahia right now, Kings of Kalahari, I mean, they've got 3 wins in 4 games on that map.
Oh man, hit him with the booyah. Poro, hit him with the booyah at the end. Hey, it's been a great day. The booyahs. Hey, what's that sound when the game's ready again? One more time. Oh, game 7, Poro? Game 7? Is that what we're saying? Ladies and gentlemen, that's been another day of some good old-fashioned free fire action. We appreciate everybody watching, tuning on in. Poor Source over there, the legend, Mustache Dave, hit all the buttons, do what you gotta do. But ladies and gentlemen, until next time, keep playing Free Fire.
Yeah.